Well, well, well. So we are unofficially in day 5, and we are officially in day 3. We're officially in day 3. We're unofficially in day 5. And where the Cowboys, they got really busy on day 1, which was Wednesday, then kind of day 2. Day 2, it was kind of slow. And then last night, we got at the break of dawn that the Cowboys had actually signed a very, very, very good cornerback that we're going to talk about today. But in the grand scheme of things, as we continue to look at the improvement of the Dallas Cowboys, how much have they improved? I believe they've improved, but then we're going to say how much have they improved. And then also, man, we just not going to give up on Maxx Crosby, are we? We not going to give up on Maxx Crosby. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Man, when I tell you we have a lot to talk about today, wow, that's all I can tell you is wow. We have a whole lot to talk about today. There's been a whole lot going on since I haven't been on live. So today, we're going to try to see if we can get this all in and around 2-something hours. It's a lot. Let's go. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great things coming up the rest of this season. Now let's talk facts. This show is loaded. I actually have more on this topics list than what I could put on the actual list. We are going to, there's going to be a lot of quick hits in the beginning, and then we'll get to the Cowboys stuff. But there is a lot to talk about. I want to talk about today just for a moment. I want to talk about Jonathan Greenard. I want to talk about the Maxx Crosby thing. Man, people are still going crazy with this Maxx Crosby stuff, and I want to talk about it. Brandon Aubrey. I can't remember if we listened to Brandon Aubrey the other day, but Brandon Aubrey had a few things to say. And then for a few moments, I just want to comment on George Pickens. George Pickens continues to prove everybody wrong. He continues to prove everybody wrong. This thing with George Pickens, it's going to be incredible. We're going to see how it turns out in the end. But George Pickens, man, I'm telling you, silence is deafening, and we'll see how it goes. Then we're going to go over to Dallas. The player interviews are in on Rashan Gary. I'm going to show you a little bit of video on Rashan Gary. Jalen Thompson, I believe he was in the building. We're going to listen to Jalen Thompson. We're going to watch some video on Jalen Thompson as far as his play. We're going to bring in our Matty Dubs. Matty Dubs got some very good film on these guys. Then we're going to talk about Cobie Durant, that everybody is excited about because he is a player. He's a player. And we're going to look at him. He's already in Dallas, and then we're going to look at some video, some film on him. Then we're going to talk about how much better are the Cowboys. How much better are the Cowboys, and how much do they need to go? Then we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys and their cap manipulation. The Dallas Cowboys are doing a great job with these contracts to make these contracts be minimum cap hits to where they can still do some work if they want to. And I do believe the Cowboys are still going to do some work. And then I still have some quick hit categories that I think I'm going to hit those right off the top of the show. Let's go. Let's get it. Hey, 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 let's go. Let's get a quick roll call in. Got a lot to talk about in a short amount of time. Let's keep it going. Let's go. Big Moss Dog, what up? First one in the chat. Yeah, I didn't understand that one, Big Moss Dog. We lost out on every single linebacker, man. We lost out on every single linebacker. 5 points of the star. He said if we land Maxx, the entire fan base is going to he said they go to boo-boo on themselves. We gonna talk about it. John Henry, what's going on? Frank Lawrence, what's going on, Frank Lawrence? He said I can't stop watching the highlight reels. This kid from Notre Dame, oh, you talking about Jeremiah Love. Man, let me tell you something. If that man falls where Dallas is, they gonna change their whole draft up, I'm telling you now. Robert Dudley, what's going on? He said, here's Johnny. Jack Nicholas from The Shining, yes sir. Ice Cold, what's going on? Ice Cold Cowboy, what's going on? Ice Cold said, what are the odds that Jones take the 12th pick? Sonny Styles, obviously, if it's available. There's no doubt about it. Ice Cold, I'm gonna tell you something. I think the Cowboys are gonna trade back. But if the Cowboys are gonna trade up, I believe he's the only player that's worthy of trading up for. I think he's the only player that's worthy of trading up for. All right, let's keep it going. Robert Dudley, what's going on, man? Good to see you today, Robert Dudley. Angie, the Rebel Chicks. What is going on, Angie? Dominique Pittman, happy Friday. It is the real estate vet. What's going on, my dog? Yes, sir. Dolores Ennis, what's going on? Good to see you. Derek Jones up in this thing. Freddie Morales, El Chuco in the house. What up, El Chuco? What's going on? Good to see you. Jacob Jackson, what's going on? Jacob Jackson, good to see you. Richard Owens, what's going on? Good to see you. Demetrius Noel, what's going on? Keek in the building. I see you, Keek. Football Fanatic, what's going on? Now, Football Fanatic, I'm gonna contact you through email, and I also got 6 other people I gotta send stuff out to. I'll be contacting y'all tonight. Give me your addresses so I can send some stuff out to you. I told you I was gonna get to you. Kello V, what's going on? Arthur Thomas from Greenland, what's going on, Arthur Thomas? Good to see you. What's going on, Gabo Fett? What's going on? Sir Nose is back. Sir Nose, what's going on, Sir Nose? It is the Big Rombowski. Appreciate that super chat. He said day number 5 of Cowboys free agent disappointment. I'm looking forward to your comments as we get further down the road on this conversation. Devin Mills, what's going on? Larry Stroud, Ty Howard, what's going on? More Eddie is in the house. What's going on, More Eddie? Blue Blood, appreciate that super chat. I agree, we're not finished. We're gonna be talking about this throughout this thing. I agree with you. Brian Worley, what's going on, Brian Worley? Gerald Jackson, what's going on? Good to see you. Tristan York, what's going on, Tristan York? It is JCT Slice. He said Dallas is going to be great this year. He said he thinks they're going to be great. He said he really does. He said I believe in the wide receivers, our moves, and of course our man Dak. Yeah, number 4. As long as we got 4, we got a chance. What's going on, MW man? He said no Maxx. No Maxx. Ducindo. What up, Ducindo? Ducindo. Man, if I'm not mistaken, you're a Rams fan. Man, y'all tripping. Y'all are about to get A.J. Brown, man. Come on, man. Y'all trying to do it over there. But I do think that means you might trade what's his name over there, Devontae, right? Jerome, what's going on? Jerome said, I do believe that this defense is better. I know the Cowboys have got themselves in a good position for the draft and a Pickens type move. Let's go. Let's go. Chase, what's going on, Chase? Jaden Justin in the house. What's going on? Luis Ortiz, Robert Simmons, K Choice, the wordologist, Joe Martinez, Mike Smooth is in the building. The Jim Villain is in the building. RT Holman, RyX fan, what's going on? Randy Will, Bulky, Cowboy Politics, Cowboy Celtics, what's going on? Trent Smith, what's going on? Doomsday, Dak Owens, what's going on, Dak Owens? Marlon Dillon, what's going on? I think I said it already. Baz in the crib. Felony Strutter, what's going on? Good to see you, Tristan York. Appreciate that super chat. What's good? He said, I'm getting very impressed with how the Cowboys team is doing this offseason. Park and Shotty doing their thing. Yeah. Jerry is too. I got to give him credit. Jerry is too. Jerry is doing a very good job, man. He is. What's going on? Austin Smith. But again, there is more work to do. Don't get it twisted. There is more work to do. Mike T, Big Hickory, G Love 9, what up? Robert G. All right, Rico Jones. All right, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Best chat on YouTube. What is going on? Good to see y'all. Give yourselves a hand. All right. So before we get into the list that you see on your left, I would believe it is, there's a lot more to go. Let me give you a couple of quick hits that I pulled up. I want to make sure I acknowledge these. Lisa Worley, I don't see her in here. But I know Lisa Worley would be, I know Lisa Worley would be proud of this. So it looks like Jalen Tolbert has found a landing spot. I am very happy for Jalen Tolbert. I still believe Jalen Tolbert has I still think there's a good future ahead for Jalen Tolbert. He has not hit his ceiling. It is time for him to take that next step, but he wasn't going to make that next step here. And the reason why Jalen Tolbert was not going to make that next step here is because of a man by the name of George Pickens. And it was going to be too difficult for him to get on the field. And so Jalen Tolbert has moved on to the Miami Dolphins, it looks like, on a one-year deal. And I'm going to talk about this as we go on throughout the show. And I appreciate y'all commenting on this. But, we've been talking about, do the Cowboys draft and develop? There's yes and no on this. There is a yes and no on this. Yes, the Cowboys draft and develop. No, they don't draft and develop well sometimes, but sometimes they do. Yes, they draft and develop. Jalen Tolbert is a prime example. No, because a lot of times the Cowboys will draft and develop, and then those players go on somewhere else and play, and sometimes they find success. I mean, how many players have the Cowboys drafted? I'm going to have to do a story on this. How many players have the Cowboys drafted who have went on to play with better teams and then go on to even go to the Super Bowl and win? How many? How many? I mean, when we draft well and develop well, one of the problems is it's like we lose those players. We lose them. And sometimes we're losing players that we're saying, we'll be like, oh, those players aren't no good anymore. But then they go somewhere else and they're good. Rashan Wright is another example. If I'm not mistaken, did we not draft him? I thought we drafted Rashan. I mean, there are plenty of players we see this happen with as far as the Cowboys go. It's not that it don't happen to other teams. It happens to other teams too. But we seem to be a team that's really dependent upon the draft sometimes. And I think one of the issues is, too, we bring those players in and we really put them on the spot very quick to come in and contribute. And they do develop somewhat, but then they go on to other places. And so we got Jalen Tolbert. I really think Jalen Tolbert is a good wide receiver, but he didn't make the necessary step that was needed for the Cowboys to say, you're the number 2. Jalen was more of a number 3. But the problem is, then Ryan Flanoy came in and superseded him. And so he's a good wide receiver, but it's good that he's moving on to somewhere where he's going to get an opportunity to play, and then he'll be able to develop. Because Ryan Flanoy, I made a video about Ryan Flanoy the moment the Cowboys drafted him. Everything I saw in preseason, I said, wow, where he is right now is better than Jalen Tolbert. And again, Jalen Tolbert started playing football late. A lot of people got to understand that. He's always been an athlete. Started playing football late. The Cowboys thought they were going to get him more up to speed, but they didn't. But again, they drafted Will Ryan for Illinois, so we'll see. But I'm happy for Jalen Tolbert. Very happy for Jalen Tolbert. Then there's another player that's moving on. We have another player that's moving on from the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm kind of like, I don't think he got enough opportunity here to develop, but I guess they're saying that he doesn't fit into the system is all I can figure. It's like, I guess he don't fit into the system. Angie said, glad Tolbert is out of Dallas, has another opportunity out of Dallas. Yeah, another opportunity. And there's another one I want y'all to comment on. Tell me what you think. But I think this player is good. I don't think the Cowboys developed him enough. But I could be wrong. And this player is also moving on. Let me see. Who is he going to? Oh, he's going to the Colts. Juanyeh Thomas. Juanyeh Thomas is moving on. I really think Juanyeh Thomas could have been good for the Cowboys. I really do. I believe we stunted the growth of Juanyeh Thomas because of letting Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson overstaying their welcome. I think that's the problem. Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker, we stayed on them way too long. Way too long. I believe Juanyeh Thomas could have played for the Cowboys. I really do. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I just think Juanyeh Thomas could have played. I think if the Cowboys kept working with him, I would have loved to have seen him. I would have loved to have seen him with this new coaching staff. But Juanyeh Thomas is moving on. Happy for him too. I'm happy for him too. But I think that Juanyeh is one of those guys we could have kept. I really do. And I'm going to tell y'all something else, man, that people are not acknowledging. And y'all know, man, I love Jerry Jones. Y'all already know I love Jerry Jones. But Jerry did something. Jerry did something in, hold on a second, it's Kippy. Kippy! What's going on, Kippy? Don't say cold. Don't say he's trash. What's going on, Kippy? I think he's going to be fine. But I want us to understand something that Jerry Jones did. Jerry Jones did something that most GMs, and I shouldn't even say most, I don't know if any GM could get away with what our beloved Jerry Jones just did. But Jerry Jones was so mad about the 2023 season, even though they did not have a defense that was good enough to win in the 2023 playoffs. They did not have a team that was good enough to win. We only truly had one wide receiver. But because we amassed 12 wins, the expectations were out the window, and we got ran off the field by the Green Bay Packers. Jerry Jones threw away 2024. He literally threw it away. Just threw it away. Everybody on the lame duck contract, brought in Mike Zimmer as a patchwork coach. And Mike did the best he could do with what he had. But Mike was a one-year rental. I want us to think about what we did to these players in this 2-year stint. Do we not understand that we brought in Mike Zimmer to do the best he could do in one season? So tell me, how does your players really get developed in that season? Then you come back the next season, and then you bring in Matt Eberflus, who I said from the get-go, I said, this bend don't break stuff don't work, because in order to have a bend don't break defense, you got to have players. It was a combination of Matt didn't have all the players, but Matt was also stubborn. Didn't want to adjust the system to try to fit those players or any of those things. He come in here like he's been promised a 3-year window to do whatever he wants to do, and he didn't put anything into player development. So for 2 whole years, I want y'all to think about what happened to this defense. 2 straight years. 2 straight years. And also something else that we might not be paying attention to. Anybody not notice? Angie brought it up the other day. RJ Ochoa, he's got an article on it. I showed the graph a couple of days ago. The entire 2021 draft class is gone. The entire 2021 draft class is gone. Now, what I'm saying, why I'm bringing that up is, even though the Cowboys were able to win 12 games, 3 seasons in a row under Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys had some bad drafts under Mike McCarthy. Cowboys had some bad drafts. 2 people that come to mind, Mozzie Smith and Schoonmaker. I don't even understand it. Mozzie didn't fit what they wanted to do, and somebody said we're drafting him anyway. I still don't get Schoonmaker. I'm shocked that he's even on the team. I'm shocked. I'm surprised the Cowboys hadn't tried to move him. I'm shocked. But I'm saying all of that because when we think about some of this draft and development conversation and some of these players that we're moving on from, man, I just want us to understand what we kind of did to this franchise for 2 seasons in a row. I mean, I know nobody wants to talk about that, but what we did to this franchise 2 years in a row, man, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, how many defensive coordinators in how many years? I mean, that's tough. And so some of these casualties that we're having, I mean, I don't know if they're necessarily bad. I just think some of these casualties may be because some of the things that we did to them in the last couple of seasons. Let me give us another quick hit, and then we're going to get to the other quick hits as it applies to Greenard. All right, I want to bring this up. Osa Odigizua. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not mad at Osa Odigizua. But the moment the Cowboys brought in Kenny Clark and then Quinnen Williams, I already thought Osa Odigizua was done for. I mean, I could just remember a couple of weeks ago, before hardly anybody was talking about it, I did a video, and I even talked about it on live, that could the Cowboys be trading Osa Odigizua? And somebody was saying, "Oh man, you think too much into this stuff. You think too deep." And lo and behold, what did the Cowboys do? They traded Osa Odigizua. Knew it was coming. Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark made him expendable. Absolutely made him expendable. But I also have to wonder, is Osa Odigizua going to be the next DeMarcus Lawrence? Does anybody not realize how close the San Francisco 49ers continue to get? I mean, they've been in a couple of these Super Bowls too. I got a feeling that Osa Odigizua is going to be in the playoffs quite a bit with the San Francisco 49ers. And I got news for us. I think also Diggy is gonna play well. I'm telling you, I think we're gonna be hearing also Diggy name on Sundays. He's gonna play well. Kippy says Osa wasn't good. I think Osa was good. He says Michael made him look okay, but we shouldn't have paid him. Kippy, let me say this. I think he was good. I don't think he was great. That's the issue with Osa. Osa wasn't great, as in, this is the issue with Osa, because I think you're making the point. Osa isn't the kind of D tackle that creates on his own. He's not the kind of D tackle that creates on his own. That's not what he does. But what I will give Osa credit for is that Osa can create if you will put great players around him. And if anybody has not realized, the San Francisco 49ers defense, they're going to put great players around Osa Odighizuwa. And you watch what I tell you. Osa Odighizuwa is going to play well. You watch what I tell y'all. Osa Odighizuwa is going to play well. Why? Because they're going to put him in a system to where he can thrive. And Kippy, you think about it. We didn't pay Osa big money. In the grand scheme of things, Osa was the 16th best defensive tackle, the 16th highest paid defensive tackle. I mean, we didn't pay him big money. I mean, he took a very team-friendly deal. He actually could have got more money going to Washington. I wonder if hindsight is 2020. I just wonder if Osa now is kind of like, man, I wish I would have went to Washington. But nevertheless, this may work out for him even better. Because I would much rather, if I was Osa Odighizuwa, if you told me, if I'm Osa Odighizuwa and you told me that you're no longer going to play for the Cowboys, we're sending you to the San Francisco 49ers. What? Man, let me tell you something. I would cry about no longer being in Dallas, but I would definitely be looking forward to the San Francisco 49ers. I would. I'd be looking forward to playing with the San Francisco 49ers. I would. Because they stay in the playoffs. They stay in the playoffs. I think Osa Odighizuwa, when you put him in the company of those players, they just got Greenlaw back. They got Warner. He's going to be playing with Bosa. What? Man, Osa is going to have an opportunity to eat, and I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to do it. And I'm going to use our own words against us. And not in a bad way, but I'm going to use our words against us. Because Jaden Justin, he just made another great comment. He says, Osa was good, but he was too small to play zero. He's not athletic enough to stand up and rush. He's not a fit for a 3-4. Osa will be fine in San Francisco. Jaden Justin. So let me add to this. What have we been saying about Maxx Crosby? What if some of us as Cowboy fans been saying about Maxx Crosby? What has some of us as fans have been saying? Oh, we don't need the big names. Because we consider Maxx Crosby as a big name. Oh, we don't need to give up the first round draft picks for Maxx Crosby. I'm not disagreeing. But there have been people out there saying we don't need names. What we need are good football players. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, we can say what we want to say, and you can have your own opinion. Also, Odighizuwa is a good football player. Bottom line. Also, Odighizuwa is a good football player. He's a good football player. He is a good football player that if you will put him with dominant players, great players in a great system and a system that has a great mentality, Osa is going to succeed. DeMarcus Lawrence didn't go to the Seattle Seahawks and become the best player on the Seattle Seahawks. But what did he do? Because he was surrounded by good draft picks, by good free agency, by a great defensive system. What did DeMarcus Lawrence do? DeMarcus Lawrence went over there and ate and won a Super Bowl, and he wasn't even the best player on the defense. Bottom line. And so it's the same thing with us. We're making the same argument. We might not realize it. We want good players. We're not asking for big names. We want good players that raise the talent floor and a talent standard to where when we do put a dominant player in the midst of good players on a great defensive scheme, that we're going to win. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do too. And I'm just saying all of this, man. Osa isn't terrible. Osa is a good football player. Osa is out of here because the same thing that happened to Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert, when George Pickens came in here, it said, no, this is what you're looking for, and this is not the number 2. Ryan Flanoy comes in here, and he does well. It's not that Jalen Tolbert is not good. He's just not better than the 2 wide receivers we have in front of him. So he gets to move on, and we'll see what he does. And also Diggy I'll just say also Diggy I think he's a good player. I think he'll be great when you put him in a great system around great players. So I'm saying all of that to show you that also Diggy he arrived in San Francisco. Now, I'm going to tell you why I would have struggled. Getting me to play in California. That's where you'd have had the problem with me. I don't mind playing. I don't mind playing for Kyle Shanahan because I like him as a coach. But my problem becomes, oh my gosh, man. Playing in California, man, it's tough out there. Cost of living is insane. Whole lot of other stuff going on out there. But this is also Diggy. I'm not going to play the sound. They got some rap song playing in the background. There's also Diggy. I see him with them San Francisco clothes on. Got his San Francisco colors. And I tell you this, man, one man's trash is another man's treasure. They are elated to have Osa Odigizua out there. They are elated. And I just say, man, it's always good to go somewhere where somebody wants you. Hey, I ain't mad at them. But they are glad to have Osa Odigizua out there. And then I think Jerry Jones, I thought Jerry Jones, for the most part, made some very good comments about Osa Odigizua because I think there's a lot of truth to what old Jerry said. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones explained why the organization made the move to trade away Osa Odigizua. Now, I don't think he did. I don't think he gave the whole story. I think one of the issues is that I think some of us are correct in saying that he didn't fit the system. So I get that part too. He said we needed to spread it around a little bit on what we have available to us with the salary cap. Jones told John Michaud of The Athletic. More importantly, we can put it in some places that probably get more mileage out of what is done. Now, let's translate what Jerry Jones said. It's too much money. Jerry felt like it was too much money being invested into what at best was going to be a rotational player. And so Jerry was saying, I don't want to put that kind of money into a rotational player. I'd rather put that money into a player that's going to be playing and fits the system that we have. I understand what Jerry is saying on that. Two things can be true. Osa Odigizua can be a good football player, and then it was time for Osa Odigizua probably to move on to a system that better fitted. It said that's not taking anything away from him individually, but we've got 2 outstanding football players in Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark. We have other backup players, plus we don't want to rule out drafting a player, so we thought that was the best move. It was the best move. It was the best move for the Cowboys. It was the best move for Oso Digizua. But again, Oso Digizua is one of those players that we developed, and now he's going on somewhere else, and I think he'll play good somewhere else. It says Jones also praised Odigizua, who was elected as defensive captain for the Cowboys in 2024 and the 2025 NFL seasons. Oso Digizua has such high character. Jones also said to Machota, he's done such an amazing job in his career. You could say, well, aren't you going the wrong way when people of his quality, his caliber, aren't on the team? Yeah. But again, Oso Digizua didn't fit the system. That's fine. That's fine. We don't have to destroy Oso Digizua. Oso Digizua is going, I'm telling you, I just think he's going to do good. I think he's going to do good in San Francisco. And I'm just wondering if Oso Digizua is going to be the next DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm just wondering if he's going to be the next DeMarcus Lawrence. Steven said, yeah, but you're basing all that from now. We all didn't expect new DC in the change that came with it. Steven, I don't know if you came in late to the conversation, but that's exactly what I explained. That's exactly what I explained if you were here in the beginning. We got to understand, Steven Vargas, it's not just what we did to this defense this year. It's what we have done to this defense the last 3-4 years. They have literally had a different defensive coordinator 3 seasons in a row. That in itself doesn't help you develop players. It doesn't. And some of these players, they might not be as bad as we think they are. But now they don't fit. Some of them don't fit the system. And for all we know, some of the ones we have right now, they may not fit the system either. Some of them may not fit the system, but we're going to see. We're going to see. But I'm telling you, man, when you talk about this, we may not realize what I'm saying right now. But Oso Digizua to me is the epitome of what we're wanting. San Francisco didn't want Oso Digizua because he's Micah Parsons. They didn't want him because he's Quinnen Williams. San Francisco wanted a good football player that when you put him in the midst of dominant or great football players, he's a good football player that can make some great plays. Well, isn't that what we're wanting too? And in the grand scheme of things, man, I feel sorry for Oso Digizua and anybody else that was on this defense in 2025. Matt Eberflus, need I say more? Matt Eberflus. Need I say more? Matt Eberflus. I mean, again, I'm not going to kill Oso Digizua. I think he's going to be great in San Francisco. You watch what I tell you. G-Love, and not to mention, Matt Eberflus is not the DC in San Francisco. I think Osa's going to be fine. G-Love said, hey, I think you're right. The 49ers coaches are going to put Osa in a good position. Trust me, G. I believe so, too. I believe so, too. Going to put him in a great position. He's going to be fine. Bernard Fields, he said Jerry watches the show, G. I doubt Jerry's watching the show. I doubt Jerry's watching the show. But again, hey, Jaden Justin, let me capitalize on your comment again. Jaden Justin, you said you need dudes, G. You need dogs. I like Osa, but I'm not liking the pickup from the Titans. He's a dog, and he's a clog in the middle. Wait, hold on. I like Osa, but I'm liking the pickup from the Titans. Okay. Wait a minute. You talking about? I thought he was from the Chargers. Are you talking about the guy from the Chargers? Now, hold on. Let me tell you something about Osa, though. One of the things about Osa, though, Osa is one of those players that if you get him with dogs, Osa will be a dog, too. But if you don't get him with dogs, Osa won't be a dog. And that's the inconsistency. As I said in the beginning, Osa don't create his own plays. Osa needs a Micah-type player to help him create plays. He'll be over there with Bosa. He'll be over there with Greenlaw. He'll be over there with Warner. He's going to be over there with players that also will look better Osa's going to look better in San Francisco because I think that system is going to be better for him. I do. Kim says, so you're saying Dan Quinn and Flus was trash and Zim the trim. Quinn wasn't trash, but understand this. Quinn's defenses were not designed to stop the run. Quinn's defenses were designed to sack the quarterback, create turnovers. I mean, that's the kind of defense that Quinn had. Quinn's defense couldn't stop the run. Zim, think about it, Kippy. It's a one-year thing. Zim did the best he could do in 1 year. I give Zim all the credit in the world. Zim did a great job for one season. He did a great job. But it's not like he was statistically bad too, got better down the stretch. But what else could Zim do? I mean, it was just, hey, Zim, here's these players, do something with them. Everybody knew Jerry threw the 2024 season away, even Mike Zimmer. Everybody knew he threw it away. Everybody knew he threw it away. Stargarden next, he said, sad to see Osa go. Christian Parker looked like he's cooking. It's like he's saying, I can't use you or I can't use you or you, but I can definitely use you. Love it. Let him cook. Now, Stargarden next. I like what you're saying. I'm going to comment on just a moment. True Texan said, good, healthy players that make a team, period. Yeah. True Texan. Appreciate that super chat. And Osa's been relatively healthy too. He's been relatively healthy. But I think he'll do better in San Francisco because I think they're going to have a system in place that's going to fit him better. And I think they're going to have players around him that is going to help him do better. I think he's going to be be better. Yeah, classic man Sigma. That's exactly the point I explained. That's the exact point I explained. Yeah, they made him expendable. Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark made him expendable. No doubt about it. And he doesn't fit into the system. Kippy said Tolbert was too small, not physical enough for the NFC. Kip, I don't know if he was. I'm just going to say it like this. Tolbert needs a little bit more development. But when you bring in a receiver like George Pickens and then you bring in Ryan Flanoy, you really don't have the time. But I'm still struggling with, and I'm not even struggling, I'm struggling with, what in the world are we going to do with Jonathan Mingo? I don't know what we're going to do with Jonathan Mingo. I mean, they brought him back. They took away the roster bonus, but I want to see what he does. All right, so let's hit another quick hit topic. So now let's go to what I have on the board. Jonathan Greenard. Here we go. I do think that Jonathan Greenard would be great for the Cowboys. I just don't think Jonathan Greenard is going to make his way to the Cowboys. It seems like to me, somebody on X last night, they made a great comment to something that I was talking about. And they were saying that it seems like that the fix is in for Greenard to go to the Eagles. And it seems like the Eagles are the ones who are really trying to put a deal in place for Jonathan Greenard. I mean, there are people over on X doing the same thing I did because I said the Cowboys should take that third-round pick, put it on the desk of the Minnesota Vikings, and say, if you don't get anything better, here it is, we'll take Jonathan Greenard. That's what I said. We got people over here on X. I mean, they're the same way. Make the call, Jerry. Make the call. I mean, Jonathan Greenard, man, Jonathan Greenard is not just a name. Jonathan Greenard is a player. He is absolutely a player. I think the Cowboys would be good with him, but it's just a matter of can they get him? And I'm not sure what the Cowboys are doing at this point because if you kind of look at what's left out there right now in free agency, the Cowboys probably don't want to. The Cowboys probably want to chill for a moment and see who else gets released. Cowboys need to see who gets released because what's out there right now at the bare minimum, you're talking about older players, which there's nothing wrong with older players, but you're talking about older players. You gotta evaluate how much juice is left in them. Do they fit into the system? Which I think some of them could fit into the system. But again, you're dealing with how much juice do they have left in the tank. You're dealing with so many of those things. And so now the Cowboys are to the point to where we're probably going to see, at least what I expect, the Cowboys to kind of wait around a little bit, and see who gets released, because free agency doesn't stop after this week. There will be some teams as the weeks go on, just like last year. There will be teams who will designate players as post-June 1st cuts. And so the Cowboys will be able to get some of or look at some of those players. There'll be some pre-June 1st cuts. There are more cuts coming. Believe me when I tell you, the closer we get to the draft, there will be more cuts coming. And so we'll see what the Cowboys do. But I think right now the Cowboys, if it's not a Jonathan Greenard, they probably need to chill for a little bit and just continue to dig and dig and dig. Because, I know we're saying let Christian Parker cook, but I want us to understand something. It's not just Christian Parker cooking. I know that don't sound right to people because we want us to be all about Christian Parker. Yeah, I think they're all cooking. I think they're all cooking from an evaluation standpoint. I think they're all looking at a player that maybe that's suggested by Christian Parker or another defensive coach, or even Brian Schottenheimer, even Will McClay. They're all cooking and they're evaluating. They're looking at tape and saying, can they fit what we're trying to do? Because I got news for y'all. Y'all might not realize what I'm telling you, but I'm starting to think that Brian Schottenheimer wanted to go to a 3-4, 5-2, 4-2-5. And the reason why I say this is because this is what they were trying to get Matt Eberflus to do. Did anybody realize this? We even talked about it during the end of the season. I was like, they're running a 5-2. You could easily convert this to a 3-4. I mean, the only difference is the players that you have in the positions. But I think they were already trying to move towards that. And what attracted them to Christian Parker is not just his reputation, not just who he played with, but the fact that he was that coach who could do some of the things they were wanting to do. And I'm saying all of that because they're all cooking. They're all cooking. It's not just Christian Parker. Because everybody said, oh, Jerry's finally doing what he should have been doing and letting these coaches pick they've been picking the players. Mike McCarthy said it point blank. I've been picking the players. He said it point blank. Some of those players from last year, those were Matt Eberflus. Those were people on the Dallas Cowboys team recommending those players. Full well, they've been doing this. I said it to someone today on X. Everybody keep talking about, yeah, man, you got to let them buy the groceries. They've been letting them buy the groceries. The problem is the grocery shoppers. That's been the problem. Send your 14-year-old son or daughter to this grocery store without a grocery list and say, go buy groceries. You're going to get cupcakes, ding-dongs, Kool-Aid, fruit punch, TV dinners. You're going to get everything they like to eat. The issue is you got to send the right person to buy groceries. And so what they're doing now is that they are doing a very good job of evaluating and evaluating, scouting, everything they're doing. It's not just Christian Parker. It's a collective work. And Brian Schottenheimer has already said this. Jerry Jones is very involved in everything. I mean, he's not bringing players, but he's listening. And so, again, it's a combination of everything that they're doing. I like what they're doing. So, again, Jonathan Greenard. I think Jonathan Greenard would be a great player for the Cowboys. I'm not sure they're going to do it. I'm not sure they're going to do it. And so, we'll wait and see. Kippy, he said a third-round pick should do it for Jonathan Greenard. That's what I was thinking, too. I was thinking a third-round pick. But I'm not sure if the Cowboys got plans for those picks. But I was thinking a third-round pick. And if you could get Jonathan Greenard for a third-round pick, oh, man, that'd be great. I just think it'd be great. Jonathan Greenard is a player. Because I do think, and once we get down into the how much better section, I do think kind of what we're all waiting on, if we're being honest with ourselves. I do believe if we're all being honest with ourselves, We all like what the Cowboys are doing. I think we can all agree with that. We all like what they're doing. But I think we're all still waiting, or at least most of us are waiting. We're waiting on that wow player. And what do I mean by wow player? I'm not talking about a name. We're waiting on that impact player who has a name. And don't get it twisted. Jonathan Greenard is not just a name. He can play. And I do want us to get some clarity on Maxx Crosby. Maxx Crosby is not just a name. Maxx Crosby can play. Maxx Crosby can play. And I do think when he comes back from that injury, boy, you're talking about motivated. Maxx Crosby, man, I'm going to tell y'all right now, Maxx Crosby may very well lead this league in sacks this year, especially when you look at what they put around him now. I mean, this may have been one of the best things that happened to the Raiders, to think he was going to leave and then go get all those defensive players to take his place, only to bring him back to the team. And they were already going to have to replace him anyway because they didn't have an edge rusher. And then he comes back. Oh, my, man, you're talking about, Quay Walker, I think his name. I mean, you're talking about Quay, you're talking about the cobie. And, man, this dude may absolutely tear this league up this year. Maxx Crosby isn't just a name. This dude can play. Larry Golden, he said, gee, I just got here like that sweatshirt. He said, I'm sorry I missed you. Talked about Brandon Aubrey. Can you please recap? Oh, I hadn't got to Brandon Aubrey yet. We'll get to him in a moment. I've been doing some quick hits, Larry Golden. I talked about Tolbert going to another team, Juanyeh Thomas, and also Diggy Zua. All right. But Jonathan Greenard, we're going to have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see on Jonathan Greenard. Hey, Kippy, let me tell you something. I don't think Will McClay has been off as we think he's been off, Kippy. I think Will McClay has been getting these coaches what they want. And what those coaches wanted, they were terrible grocery shoppers. They were terrible grocery shoppers. James Jones said it himself on what is now Speak Easy. James Jones said it himself. He said, after Mike McCarthy said that he has had say-so in the drafts, he has had say-so in the players, James Jones said now the blame goes on him. And he said, now that I think about it, he said some of the same things he did in Dallas, he said Mike McCarthy, some of the same things he did in Dallas, he said Mike McCarthy did in Green Bay. He said there would be players they want in Green Bay, and Mike McCarthy would be up in there just vetoing just great players. Great players. Absolutely. The Cowboys have been giving these coaches say so in these players. It's just they're terrible grocery shoppers. They're terrible grocery shoppers. Absolutely. And Kippy, let me add this. Not only were they terrible grocery shoppers, let me give them a little bit of grace. Maybe they were terrible grocery shoppers because they were also dealing with, hey, I want you to go get enough food to win a Super Bowl, but I'm only giving you enough food to win 7 games. We all know Jerry Jones up until this last season. All of a sudden now, Jerry not cheap. We're going to talk about this when we get to our section about cap manipulation. Because it's strange to me how much Steven and Jerry complained about the salary cap and you can't do this. And the way they're manipulating that salary cap right now, if they'd have been doing this for the last 15 years, the Cowboys probably would have already won a Super Bowl. Would have already won a Super Bowl. I mean, when you giving somebody a grocery list and you saying, but you only got X amount of dollars, well, what do you think they're going to do? I remember one time I was trying to be cheap back in the day, and I was in Dollar Tree shopping for some doggone cleaning appliances and went over there and they had a freezer section and they had steak in the freezer section of Dollar Tree. And the steak was only $2. I said, wow, $2 for a steak? What kind of steak you think you gonna get for $2? Come on, man. What kind of steak you think you about to get for $2? Man, we got to realize what some of these coaches have been put up under. I mean, I love this Jerry Jones we have right now. This seems to be more of the 90s Jerry Jones. Because them Jerry Jones before these last couple of seasons, man, Jerry Jones with that restricted budget, letting Stephen Jones rolling up in there with them cheap budgets. I mean, what could you get? I mean, it's a combination of things here. Simmons, appreciate you. He said, G, do you think the Cowboys going to draft 2 starting linebackers since they didn't do nothing in that position in free agency? You know what? I think they're going to have to. I don't think they have a choice. I mean, the Cowboys literally missed on every linebacker they swung for. They missed on all them doggone, man, shoot. Boy, they missed on all them jokers. Hey, Baz, I'm telling you right now, boy, you'd have gave me a shopping list at 13 or 14, boy, you'd have been sick for a week because I would have brought no food up in that place. Boy, y'all ain't lying. I'd have been bringing gummy snacks, fruit roll-ups, Doritos, Cheetos, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Boy, man, I'm going crazy, man. Tell them. But I love the mindset that the Cowboys are in now, and I want them to keep it up. I really want them to keep it up. But Jonathan Greenard, I don't think I don't know. We could wake up tomorrow. I mean, the other day they hit us at midnight, so who knows? Maybe they'll come out tomorrow and have somebody else. But let's move on to Maxx Crosby. Here we go. Man, let me tell you something. There's a song. Let me see. Let's see. John Bon Jovi. Yeah, I think, the song is, some of us, man, I got to give some of us Cowboys, man, let me tell you, man, I don't even get mad. I don't even get mad at Cowboy fans who bring up some of these ideas because I just know they want to win bad. They want to win bad, but I'm telling you right now, man, I think some of us, and you could turn out to be right, but I think we're living on a prayer. I really think we're living on a prayer as it applies to Maxx Crosby. I really think we're living on a prayer. Jerry Jones is a master marketeer. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. Jerry Jones is a master marketer. Marketeer, that was my French accent. Jerry Jones is a master marketer. Jerry Jones says about Maxx Crosby. Jerry Jones said we're too far in the process as it applies to Maxx Crosby. Too far in the process. But I won't rule out anything. And man, let me tell you something. It's just like on Dumb and Dumber. Do y'all remember that saying on Dumb and Dumber? Dumb and Dumber is one of my favorite movies of all time. I always laugh when people talk about Dumb and Dumber. Because when I hear somebody say that Dumb and Dumber is dumb, I'm like, it's called Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, that movie dumb. Have you watched Dumb and Dumber? Oh, that's too dumb for me. It's called Dumb and Dumber. Well, one of the funniest things on there, hold on, let me pull it up. I mean, there are so many things funny in Dumb and Dumber. But one of the funniest lines to me, let me see if we can pull it up real quick. This is how I see some people as it applies to, let me see, hey, hold on a second. Andrew said, I saw that type of steak in the chat. Andrew, you ever seen one of them steaks at Dollar Tree? Boy, Dollar Tree had them steaks. I bought that Dollar Tree steak. Boy, shoot. I don't even want to tell you what happened. Man, I don't even want to tell you what happened to me. Let's just say I was late going somewhere because I had to go. I had an appointment in the bathroom eating that doggone Dollar Tree steak. Boy, my wife was laughing like crazy on me, man. All right. So Keith Washington. Now I did mention this Keith Washington. Now we're not letting Jerry off the hook. Keith Washington. That's why I said we got to think about what Jerry has done to this team. He was so mad after they lost to Green Bay. Lame duck year. Mike Zimmer is in here just doing whatever he can do. Not only that, then we came back the next year, and then Jerry rolls up Matt Eberflus in here trying to fix things, and it was terrible. So we're not letting them out. But the Jerry we're dealing with right now, I'm liking the Jerry we're dealing with right now. We just need a little bit more. Need a little bit more. So, but as it applies to Maxx Crosby, I don't know if y'all are Dumb and Dumber fans. I'll cut this out if it gets copyright struck. But this is one of the funniest. This is one of the funniest situations that happened inside of Dumb and Dumber. Which I guess he did. I think he actually did wind up with the girl, though. But this is how people are with Dumb and Dumber. Anybody remember this part right here?
What do you think the chances are of a guy like you and a girl like me ending up together?
This is some Cowboy fans as it applies to Maxx Crosby. This is where some Cowboy fans are with Maxx Crosby, boy. Jerry Jones is a master marketer. Yeah, you know, we're not going to rule out anything. What? What do you mean you're not going to rule out anything? Here he is. Boy, this is Cowboy fans with Maxx Crosby, boy. Boy, this is the Cowboy fans with Maxx Crosby right now, boy. Boy, Cowboy fans want Maxx Crosby so bad they don't know what to do, boy. Woo! They want Maxx Crosby so bad they don't know what to do. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, boy. Big Robowski, Robowski, I used to watch that movie at least once or twice a year back in the day. Robowski, I tell you, where someplace warm, a place where the beer flows like wine, where beautiful women instinctively flock like the salmon at Capistrano. He said, I'm talking about a little place called Aspen. Boy, people do not realize how funny that movie is, man. That has got to be one of the funniest movies ever. This is where people are, man, with Maxx Crosby. This is where people are with Maxx Crosby right now. I mean, people, and Jerry is a master marketeer. We're not going to close the door on anything, or however Jerry said it. Let's check out a video over here on NFL NBC, and they're talking about it too, as far as Jerry Jones as he's talking about Maxx Crosby. Hold on, let me pull it up. Boy, I'm telling you, boy, we are just like, hey, I ain't mad at us. I understand, boy. I know we want to win. I'm not gonna be mad at anybody, but I'm just telling us. Boy, people want to win bad, boy. I don't blame you. I do not blame you one bit for wanting Maxx Crosby. I just don't think it's going to happen. The story, at least at this point, I don't think it's going to happen. We're going to listen to NFL on NBC talk about this. And then I'm going to tell you why I don't think it makes sense, or how it's going to make sense in the grand scheme of things, unless it happens now.
The story isn't over. One last point before we break. We reported yesterday at ProFootballTalk.com that the Raiders are telling teams that Maxx Crosby is not available. Meanwhile, Dr. Jerry Jones said yesterday the Cowboys, when asked whether the Cowboys are interested in Maxx Crosby, we're pretty far down the road, so while I don't anticipate it, I don't want to rule anything out. Now,
y'all better stop playing with Jura Jones. Stop playing with Jura Jones. You're talking about a master marketer. Jerry Jones is a master marketer. I'm telling us all. Jerry Jones is a master marketer, man. Jerry Jones knows how to keep hope alive. Bottom line. I'm going to tell you right now, if there is a man that I would want to go into business with, I would love to go into business with Jerry Jones. Because I'm telling you now, Jerry Jones is going to make you into a multi-millionaire. Jerry is going to make you a multimillionaire. Jerry, when it comes to business, man, Jerry knows how to close. If you think about the Netflix special, Jerry, this is the thing that he loves. He loves the close. He's always trying to close the deal. Now, hasn't worked out so well in his football career since 95. But as far as business goes, no, you're going to be rich with Jerry Jones. Angie, you might get ripped off in football. No, you're going to be rich with Jerry Jones. Jerry knows how to sell hope. He does. He knows how to sell hope. And when he hits, the thing I'll tell you about Jerry, when he hits big. Now, he hadn't hit in the Cowboys in about 30 years. But when he came to the Cowboys, Jerry hit big. And I do think Jerry is on the verge of hitting big again. I think he's on the verge of hitting big again because he's starting to make the smart investments. He's starting to make the smart investments in his coaching staff. He's, in particular defensively. I love what he's done defensively. I like what he's done offensively, but I still think he needs to make one more tweak. I think he needs to let Brian Schottenheimer get him an offensive coordinator. And let Brian Schottenheimer just be the walk-around coach. I really wish he would do that, but I don't think it's going to happen. But nevertheless, Jerry has got people just hanging on, man, that Maxx Crosby, he could get Maxx Crosby. And I'm going to tell you after we get to listen to this, I'm not telling you he's not going to get Maxx Crosby. What I am telling you is the only way Jerry gets Maxx Crosby is they get him now. Because you can't get him later. I'm going to explain to you why.
I remember the day. I'm old enough to remember, as they say, when owners and GMs and coaches wouldn't talk about players under contract with other teams. I saw Ryan Poles, the GM of the Bears yesterday, acknowledge that they were involved in the Maxx Crosby talks. Like, that used to be a third rail that you didn't touch because you get yourself into tampering. And especially with Max in kind of a... I
agree, Bazzy9. He hit big with George Pickens. He hit big.
And it may be once he goes back and he sees Alex Guerrero and remembers how reportedly irritated he is by Alex Guerrero's presence. That's a Mike Silver report from last week. Maybe he starts thinking, man, I really still would like to get out of here, and I'm feeling pretty good now, and I'm feeling pretty healthy now, and I think I can do what I did. Then all of a sudden he's thinking, man, the Cowboys and the Bears, they were interested in me. So that's exactly why the tampering rules are there. You don't want comments from other teams to get inside a player's head and affect his relationship with his current team. So I'm a little surprised that both Poles and Jerry said what they said. And I'm extra surprised Jerry said it because his team doctor was involved in the panel of experts who decided the Ravens shouldn't go forward with this transaction. So that's something.
Now, I want y'all to notice what he said. This was the same argument I was making on X. And this is why I'm telling people the Baltimore Ravens were playing games and using semantics. They used Dr. Cooper. They say, "Oh, we let Dr. Cooper look at what we saw, and after we talked to Dr. Cooper, we backed out." But what did he tell him? What did he tell him? Nobody still knows what Dr. Cooper told the Baltimore Ravens. But then the most egregious part of this, y'all ready for this? The most egregious part. But then Jerry Jones comes back and say, we won't rule out anything about getting Maxx Crosby. Make that make sense? If Dr. Cooper said, and I don't think he said it, but if Dr. Cooper said, hey, Baltimore, don't get Maxx Crosby, I don't think he said that. But if Dr. Cooper said it, or if Dr. Cooper saw something that made the Ravens apprehensive, then why wouldn't the Cowboys be apprehensive? Stop it. Stop it. It makes zero sense. There would be no interest there shouldn't be any interest from Jerry Jones. And I don't find it to be strange. The Raiders are still telling people, we're not trading Maxx Crosby. And people are still calling. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. We know full well the Baltimore Ravens, man, the Baltimore Ravens did what they've done 3 previous times. 3 previous times. No. They had buyer's remorse. They're that guy. The Baltimore Ravens are this guy to me. They go to the bar, they get drunk, get the beer goggles on, and all these women start looking good. Go up, start rapping to a woman, take her home, making all these sweet promises. I want you to be my girlfriend, and I ain't never met a girl like you, and blah, blah, blah. And I'll give you the world. I'm gonna give you a car. I'm gonna give you the keys to my apartment. Here everything is. Go home with me. Wake up to that same girl with no makeup. Wake up to that same girl and say, what was I thinking? Oh, look at everything I'm giving up. It's not even so much the girl was ugly. It's just everything I told her I was going to give her. What was I thinking? I know what you were thinking. The Raiders thought about those 2 first-round draft picks, and they said, thanks, but no thanks. Bottom line. Not only that, we could get Maxx Crosby cheaper. Man, I guarantee you, they probably didn't even put Trey Hendrickson through no doggone, physical barely. Blue Star, Big Brabowski, he said it's Jerry's real estate empire. If you looked him up in multi-million-dollar project after project all around DFW in North Texas, he knows how to make money big time. Oh, yeah. Hey, Brabowski, I'm telling you now. And I know you already know this. Emmitt Smith. Why do you think Emmitt Smith is rich? Why do you think Darren Woodson is still making plenty of money? When Jerry engrafts you into the family and Jerry involves you in his business deals, no, you're going to make money. Yeah, you're going to make money. Clifford said that makes sense. Why would they make the trade with a knee injury? Sucks, especially when you're recovering from surgery. Yeah, and they knew what it was. They knew what it was. But I'm telling you, they got home that next morning and they realized they had gave that girl the key to the house and gave her a car title and said, no, I think I want my car title. I'm definitely not giving the keys to my house. And they said no. They said no, and man, come on, they know doggone well. Because if Dr. Cooper said something was so bad about Maxx Crosby, there is no way the Cowboys should still be interested.
Thing to keep an eye on. We've got a bunch of different tentacles of this story that will unfold over time.
Yep.
How does Maxx play in Las Vegas? Is he later traded by Las Vegas? How does Trey Hendrickson play for the Ravens? What becomes of the 14th overall pick? Do the Ravens end up with a superstar? There's a lot there. Who would the Raiders have taken with that 14th pick?
Larry Golden, he said, oh my God, he said it was great. He said, we need humor here. That's as funny as your $2 steak. Larry Golden, boy, you should have saw how thin that steak was, man. I mean, that steak was about as thick as about five sheets of paper stacked together. Boy, my wife was laughing so hard she didn't know what to do, boy. And man, I'm telling you, boy, mess me up, man. Mess me up. Gravedigger said, when them lights turned on in the club, man, Ravens realized what they had gave up and then looked over there at Trey Hendrickson and said, hey, man, we can keep them 2 first-round picks.
Does that guy become a superstar? Man, this is going to be the gift that keeps on giving. So,
Yep.
Thank you, football gods. I'm sorry that Maxx Crosby got caught in the middle of this.
Yep.
But thank you, Raiders, Ravens, and football gods, for giving us something that has delivered big time this week and is going to give us plenty of stuff to watch, Michael, in the coming days,
Yes.
weeks, months,
Yes.
and even years.
And I know the Raiders, I mean, they've made some good moves in free agency, but they're not quite there yet. It wouldn't be so much of a gift that the Raiders and Ravens are scheduled to play each other this year, right?
No, they're not. I checked.
Okay.
Yeah, I checked.
But there's always the playoffs. Wouldn't the Raiders love that?
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't they love it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see the Raiders and the Ravens in the playoffs. Let's be realistic.
I think the Raiders can make the playoffs depending upon who they put back there at quarterback. It's not going to be It's not going to be Mendoza that they get back there this year. They already said they're going to sit him a year. Looks like they might be trying to bring in. They might be bringing in Kirk Cousins. Now we know Kirk can get you to the playoffs. So we'll see what he does if you put a dominant defense in front of him.
Though, I mean, both of them missed it last year. The Raiders have been there twice since 2002.
But who's most likely to miss it in 2026? Yeah. We know that.
Yeah, especially in the AFC West. When you consider that division, I said last year you put the Raiders in a different division. Who knows how it goes. And then that was back when Pete Carroll had everyone convinced they actually weren't going to be horrible. Pete Carroll convinced everyone that they weren't going to be horrible, and then they ended up being horrible. Hi, it's Mike Florio.
Yeah, I think one of the things that wound up messing up the Raiders, some of the players didn't turn out. The Christian Wilkins thing absolutely did not turn out for them. Y'all do know Christian Wilkins is still out there. What y'all think? Brandy, appreciate that super chat. Appreciate that. Brandy said linebacker repellent in Dallas for real. Brandy, we missed on every linebacker. Every linebacker. I mean, we flat out missed. We missed. Darren Posey. You said Dak asked her for a prenup. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, man. I'm going to tell you right now. Allegedly. She's already debunked the whole prenup thing. She's debunked that. Hey, man. This is why I say Dak Prescott, I think he'll be fine this year. They said Dak Prescott was out there cheating. That's all I'm saying. He said Dak was out there running them women, allegedly. I don't know what it is. But that's all I'm telling you. All right. So let me explain to us why I don't think the Cowboys are going to be able to get Maxx Crosby unless they were to get Maxx Crosby now. Because Maxx Crosby has pledged allegiance to the Raiders. And I've been watching some of this stuff that they're posting over here on X about this stuff that they're posting about Maxx Crosby on X. Maxx Crosby talked to the front office. He said he's all in. The Raiders have released a statement. They said they absolutely are not trading Maxx Crosby. The Raiders have said this. Maxx Crosby he said he's all in, 200% in training camp. Maxx Crosby is about to be the biggest story in the NFL because he's either going to prove the Ravens wrong or he's going to prove himself right. We are about to see an incredible story in this league. Now, let me tell you a reason why. Now, Demetrius Noel, let me chime in where you are. You cooking over here. The Raiders still want 2 first-round picks from Crosby at this point. That trade makes absolutely no sense. All right.
Let him cook.
Demetrius, let me add to what you're saying here. Now, the Raiders are saying they're not going to trade Crosby. So, let me paint a picture. Crosby looks great in training camp. Crosby looks great at the beginning of the season. And the Raiders are winning. Explain to me again, why would the Raiders trade Maxx Crosby once the season starts and they're winning? Explain that to me. What dumb team would do that? They're winning. I'm talking about they're really winning. I mean, right around the trade deadline, let's say they got 6-7 wins. Why would they trade Maxx Crosby? What if Maxx Crosby has about 8 or 9 sacks? Now, let's go back to what you said. It's not the fact, Demetrius, the Raiders still want 2 first-round picks. The problem is, if the Raiders are going to get those 2 first-round picks, they got to get those 2 first-round picks before the draft. If Maxx Crosby is still with the Raiders beyond the draft, they'll be looking to get draft picks in 27 and 28. It sounded like to me they wanted draft picks in 26 and 27. They wanted draft picks in 26 and 27. So that would mean that if this goes beyond the draft, then the Cowboys will not have the same draft capital then that they have now. What's going to be their bargaining chip? And we already know, even when they thought Maxx Crosby was healthy, they were not willing to give up the 2027 first-round pick. So why would they turn around and give away the 2027 first-round pick and the 2028 first-round pick? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. If the Cowboys want Maxx Crosby, it would have to be now. It would have to be now. And they would also have to be willing, to take the risk. And I think this is where the Raiders are calling everyone's bluff. The Raiders and the Raiders aren't really calling their bluff per se, but I think they're calling their bluff subliminally, as in, nah, we're not going to trade Maxx Crosby. Unless you call and talking about them 2 first-round picks. I mean, unless you talk about them 2 first-round picks. Kippy, Dak gonna be more than fine. Because if Dak was playing, Kippy, I want you to think about this. If Dak was playing house, having kids, and still out there running women and had that performance, oh, Dak gonna be more than fine. Dak gonna be, hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, Kippy, Dak must be able to compartmentalize real well, bro, because he did not look like he was distracted this past season. He did not look like he was distracted. So I think Dak Prescott is going to be fine. This is not going to even be a story. But, again, the Cowboys won't have the draft capital. And so the Raiders are really calling the bluff of all these teams. They're calling the bluff of all these teams. You can call us all you want to. But unless you give us 2 first-round picks and you're willing to take the chance on Maxx Crosby, you're not getting Maxx Crosby. And you know what? I don't blame him. I don't blame him. With what the Raiders have added to their team on defense, and now you put Maxx Crosby with that? Oh, man, you ain't getting him unless you come with 2 first-round picks. Bottom line. Rumbowski said because for the Raiders winning would be a 7-8 win season, you might as well trade Crosby at the deadline to fleece a playoff contender. You won't get 2 first-round picks, but you'll get more than that right now. And Big Rumbowski, but what if they're winning? Because a lot of people are saying, you just heard them say it, that they're like, man, the Raiders might have a great chance of winning. So if the Raiders have a good chance of winning, why would they trade Crosby, especially if he's balling? So in the grand scheme of things, the Raiders are almost calling these teams bluff out here. You want Crosby? 2 first-round picks. And you're going to take the chance. But if you're not willing to take the chance and give up those 2 first-round picks, I mean, why? I don't see how the Cowboys would be in the running. The Cowboys, if there's one thing we know about the Cowboys, especially since that Roy Williams deal, Cowboys don't like giving up first-round picks. They just don't. USMC, salute. He said, people whining about missing on linebackers and still wanting Crosby, get over it. He said, we have the draft capital to get a linebacker that makes us better than anything you can get in free agency. Stop it. The coaches are putting the pieces in place. Hey, USMC, appreciate that super chat. USMC, I can tell you right now, man, you are not getting. Anybody ever seen the movie Inception? If you have not seen Inception, you got to see it. It's an incredible movie. It'll definitely tell you how the human mind thinks. Hey, USMC, there are just some people, man, when you put a thought in their head, bro, you're not getting it out. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, because I know Cowboys fans wants to win. But I'm just telling us, man, the moment we started playing around with Maxx Crosby, boy, Cowboy fans, there were some Cowboy fans said, man, go get this man. But again, they're not getting him unless they give up 2 first-round picks. And I'll be honest with you, I would love to have Maxx Crosby. But I'm not sure if I'm willing to give up 2 first-round picks. I don't know if I'm ready to do that right now. I mean, the Cowboys need so much more. The Cowboys are doing better, but the Cowboys need so much more. And because the Cowboys need so much more, I don't know if I could roll with Crosby because you're putting a lot of eggs in that basket. You need more players. Larry Golden said, I'm sure I'm wrong. Is it possible the Cowboys did what they did to keep the value of Crosby down and go after them? Now, in other words, keep them away from the Ravens, put a little poison in there. You know, some people are saying that. And I find it to be strange, and I still say people aren't paying attention to this enough. I'm laughing that the Ravens, and I called Cap on this from the get-go. The Ravens are saying, the Cowboys own Dr. Cooper. And Dr. Cooper is an elite. He's an elite knee specialist. And Dr. Cooper looked at the results. And when they said with the feedback they got from Dr. Cooper, they said, no, we were not going to do it no more. I'm like, come on, man. Stop this madness. Stop it. Making us use our imagination. Well, what did he tell him? He must have told him that Maxx Crosby is not going to be any good. That's what they told the Baltimore Ravens, and that's why they backed out. Really? Is that what he told them? Well, why in the world is Jerry Jones saying we're not ruling anything out? Stop it. Stop it. Cowboys still need more USMC. I understand your point. Rumbowski said the Raiders simply want 2 first-round picks for Crosby because they want to make an offer for Pickens, and nobody convinced me otherwise. Hey, I'm telling you, hey. Rumbowski, hey, I wouldn't be, hey, that's probably a very good take. So to me, no Crosby trade betters Dallas' chances to resign him. Yeah. Rumbowski, I think that's a great take. Because we talked about that, because I wouldn't be surprised they got them 2 first-round picks and then roll right back around and said, now, Cowboys, now I'm about to stick it to you with the very 2 first-round picks you gave me. I'm coming to get George Pickens. I wouldn't be surprised, because we all know they want a number 1 receiver very bad. Freddie Morales, he said, I'm not giving up ones for Crosby. Yeah. Kippy, Ravens wanted Hendrickson and them 2 first-round picks. Yeah, they wanted it. They wanted it. Gab, he said, I agree, G, we need an offense coordinator. I think they do. I think that Shotty would be a way better coach if you just let him coach. Just let him coach. Roddy said, Uncle G, Raiders will be trash. Come on, man. Rodney Evans. Not trash. He said gonna be trash. He said every year they always talking about being good. They always trash. Take 3 and be good with that. Yes, sir. I feel you on that, boy. I feel you on that. His child, he said, a good football player that doesn't fit a new scheme at all. Yeah. The big advisor said the Raiders need a number 1 wide receiver bad. They do. About to draft a rookie quarterback and putting those hopes to turn their things around on his shoulders. I agree with you. I agree with you. His child said D-Law went to a 4-3 defense coming from a 4-3 defense. Yeah. Gravedigger said, I see both sides of the whole thing. Just keep going back to the question to myself. Who at either first pick would be able to make an impact the next 3 years on the same level as Crosby? You know what? Gravedigger. Let me tell you something. I have been moved a little bit. Hey, Bazzy 9, I'm with you. I'm sorry, Bazzy 9. Me and you could be in the boat rowing alone on this. But I wouldn't trade George Pickens straight up for Crosby. I wouldn't either. I just don't think you give up George Pickens. I just don't think you give up George Pickens. But yeah, man, I'm telling us, the Raiders need a wide receiver bad. They absolutely do. All right, let's get another quick hit in here. Let's go to Brandon Aubrey. Let me tell you something about Brandon Aubrey. Man, Brandon Aubrey is man, this dude Brandon Aubrey is serious about his, man. Brandon Aubrey is very serious about his. Brandon Aubrey is saying, I'm getting paid. Brandon Aubrey out here talking reckless, man. And I ain't saying he talking recklessly, but he talking recklessly subliminally. This dude Brandon Aubrey is out here. This dude Brandon Aubrey is out here saying, give me my money, man. Give me my money. This is Brandon Aubrey. He was at AT&T Stadium, I guess, a week ago or something. It says ahead of this week's Arlington Grand Prix. This is Brandon Aubrey.
I have control over as the term restricted applies there. So obviously Dallas is my home. Would like to keep it that way. So it would be nice to get a long-term deal going. Just need to sit down and have that conversation.
Has there been any other movement this week, or has it just kind of been a waiting pattern?
No waiting pattern. There's a lot of moving parts with the Cowboys at the moment, and there's players that aren't restricted that they got to sort through first, because with that restriction, movement is significantly more difficult. So they go through, and there's more important fires to put out, and then they can circle around when things calm down and talk to me.
I know it's you're focused on your situation, but when you see another kicker like Kaimi get a new benchmark deal, is that a positive? Is that something that makes you feel good to see someone else?
Yeah, that's always a positive. Anytime the market goes up as a whole, every kicker makes money. So when he signs a new record contract, that makes the guy who's signing number 32 contract, whether that's a rookie contract, like I'd say anybody who's signing a new deal, the price has gone up a little bit.
Did y'all hear that last part? Hey, you can tell me about all the mother kickers, Brandon Aubrey, but I know who you talking about, bro. Brandon Aubrey, so I'm talking about myself. Let's do it again, right here on this part.
Makes the guy who's signing number 32 contract, whether that's a rookie contract, like I'd say anybody who's signing a new deal, the price has gone up a little bit.
I hear exactly what you said, Brandon Aubrey. You ain't fooling me. Brandon Aubrey, you are not fooling me. I was born at night, but not last night. Nah, you ain't fooling me, Brandon Aubrey. Brandon Aubrey said, I ain't playing out here, man. I wants my money. Aubrey said, I wants my money. Prince McKellum, appreciate that super chat. Prince McKellum, do not feel bad, because everybody is waiting on that player. Everybody is waiting on that player that we go, that's the player. Because last year we got that player. It was George Pickens. Man, when the Cowboys got George Pickens, it's not like Rashan. It's not like Rashan Gary. I mean, we're happy about Rashan Gary. But when we traded last year for George Pickens, the fan base erupted. Man, fan base man, shoo. Fan base went crazy. So now we're waiting on that player. I understand where everybody is. We want to win. Hold on a second. Dave Boy, he said Aubrey literally putting kicking his foot in his mouth. Bama Boy said Aubrey sounded like a freaking GM. Man, Aubrey said, pay me my money. He said, pay me my money, man. Bass said, Aubrey said legit the money he was offered as highest paid kicker wasn't adequate for anybody. Bass. Aubrey said, he said, pay me my money. Raw Expert, he said, Aubrey still taking the Uber to work. Demetrius, did you just say that somebody's in Aubrey's ears and that's not a good thing, but a kicker should not be the source of distraction for the team? Demetrius Noel, you do know his agent is Todd France. That's who in his ear. I know full well who's in his ear. It's Todd France. Wait a minute, Rodney Evans, he got me rolling. Rodney Evans said, Uncle G, that kicker better take 7 minutes. He better take 7 minutes to be good with that. Let Jimmy Johnson say kickers on a dime a dozen. Man, shoot. Boy, Aubrey out here talking mad, man. He talking reckless out here, boy. Jamal, listen to G. Cyrus just got here, but what you go get Sneed? He was just released. Oh, yeah, let me see. Let me pull that up. I'm in my rap mind right now. I'm thinking about Sam Snead, the rapper, but hold on a second. Yeah, L'Jarius Sneed, we saw that from the Titans. I'm going to tell you right now, if I were the Cowboys, I'd definitely kick the tires on that. I'm going to tell you something. I would definitely kick the tires on it. Because if you ask me, and y'all tell me if I'm barking up the wrong tree, but the more the Cowboys do in free agency, the more they can do in the draft. The more they do in free agency, the more they can do in the draft. They got to put themselves in a position to where they can get best. Some people are saying BPA. I'm saying BDPA. I don't want the Cowboys to get the BPA. I want them to get the BDPA. Best defensive player available. The more things you solve in free agency, the more solutions you will have in the draft. Because at this point, we got too many holes to fill up in the draft. You can't fill up all the holes the Cowboys have with 2 draft picks. You need more. Yeah. L'Jarius Sneed released from the Titans in a stunning fall from grace. But you know, the Titans are they're just not a good team right now. And maybe Robert Saleh doesn't want to deal with him, and maybe he could go somewhere else and be a whole lot better. I mean, if I were the Cowboys, I really would. Yeah, this is what I was thinking about. Yeah, I'm thinking about Sam Snead, the rapper. I had to do a double take right there. Christian Legal, I agree with you. Cobie Durant is an impact player, but he's not that kind of impact player we're talking about, though. He can change a game. But when you're talking about that impact player, what you're really looking for is that game changer. You're looking for that game changer. I mean, you're looking for that player that can take a game over, that can wreck the quarterback. Wreck the quarterback, strip sack fumbles, tackles for loss. He's a playmaker. But man, when you're talking about an impact player, I mean, you're talking about somebody that just changes the game on a consistent basis. Nothing against Cobie Durant. I mean, Cobie Durant. Don't you worry. We're gonna get to him in just a second. Got some good things to talk about with him. Yeah, he's a great player. I like him. I really like him. All right. So let's see here. Where were we? Brandon Aubrey. All right. Let's get over here and talk about George Pickens.
Yes! Here we go!
I'm sorry. George Pickens, to me, continues to prove everybody wrong. George Pickens continues to prove everybody wrong. George Pickens hasn't said a word about nothing. Absolutely nothing. I haven't even seen a picture of this man. I haven't seen a picture. I didn't say a picture. I said a picture. Hadn't even seen a picture of this man. I haven't heard a word from George Pickens. Nothing. Hadn't heard a word from his agent. Nothing. We don't know what to expect from George Pickens. All I can tell you is this. He's not doing what Brandon Aubrey is doing. He's not a distraction at all. He's just not saying a word. I like it. I don't know what else to say about George Pickens. I just don't know what else to say about George Pickens. He continues to defy all odds. I mean, everything that people have said about George Pickens, he has proved about 98% of it wrong. He's proved about 98% of it wrong. He ain't saying a word. He's not saying a word. I think that's how you should do it. Don't say a word, man. Hit dogs holler. Hit dogs holler. Woo, they holler, man. They holler. Hit dogs holler. Hit dogs holler. Hit dogs holler, man. George ain't saying a word. He ain't saying a word. He said, I'm not hit. He ain't saying a word. George is not going to say anything, at least at this point. George ain't saying anything about anything. Nothing that anybody can hold against him. Lil Wayne said it best. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. One of the coldest lines ever. Make sure I got that right. Let's see. Yeah. Lil Wayne. I had to make sure I said that right. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. George Pickens' name starts with a G, and he is moving in silence. I love it. Ace Wade, what's up? Good to see you. Michael Smooth, silence is golden. Big Lebowski, I think that's Street Fighter too. I'm gonna be changing up the show in the new season. Got new music and everything. I've been scouring the internet for some great sound effects, man. I'm pulling something together. Yeah, we're gonna kick it out real big in 2026. But George is doing his thing, man. He is. Ace Wade, he said, as always, blessings to you and your family. Same to you, Ace Wade. Appreciate you. Derek Posey, stop it, man. Stop it, Derek Posey. But nothing really on George, man. And, you know, I love it. I love that about George. Nothing. He's not a distraction. He's not saying a word. George is just saying, I'm about my business. And you know, and I even give David Mulugeta credit. I thought David Mulugeta got a little too active, a little too talkative when it came to the Michael Parsons situation. Not this time. Not saying a word. He's not saying a word. George is not saying a word. Brandon Aubrey, on the other hand, hit dogs holler. Brandon Aubrey is out here hollering, give me my money. Angie, you said fatality. Okay, I'll make sure I'll get that one too. Fatality, man. Fatality. Hey, hit dogs holler, Angie. That boy Brandon Aubrey out here hollering, give me my money. Give me my money. He hollering out here. All right, let's move on to Rashan Gary.
Yes! Here we go!
Moving right along smooth. All right, let's talk about Rashan Gary. Man, let me tell you something. I released a video talking about everything you need to know about Rashan Gary. Yeah, Rashan Gary is one of them. Rashan Gary is one of them. I'm not telling you he's Michael Parsons, but what I'm telling you is he's one of those players that you want on your team. Daggons. You know, Daggons, it's funny you said that. I had my budget busting sounds. Daggons, I had my budget busting sounds when I thought the Cowboys were going to get Maxx Crosby. I had my budget busting sounds, but we'll play those tonight as we talk about the Cowboys and these contracts. Yeah, we'll talk about those tonight. I mean, we'll use that sound when we talk about the contracts tonight. Cowboys have been doing a really good job with these contracts. So let's go first over here and listen to Rashan Gary. He's going to be he's the exact kind of player that you're looking for. You're looking for, and I think what I'm liking about what the Cowboys are doing so far is that the Cowboys are getting football players. They're getting football players. Guys who want to play the game. And Rashan Gary is one of those guys that want to play the game. Look like we got a couple other guys in here too. Let's listen to these interviews. They're all very short. So let's first listen to, let's see, let's find Rashan Gary in here. I listened to it the other day. Okay, let's check out Rashan
Well, the Cowboys
Gary.
are making major moves
This is Rashan Gary. Check it out.
this free agency, and the biggest move, of course, is the Cowboys sending a 2027 fourth-round pick to Green Bay in exchange for a premier pass rusher in Rashan Gary. First off, welcome, and welcome to have you here in the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, thank you. You know, Cowboys Nation is an honor and privilege, and can't wait to go to work.
All right, well, you actually received the call from the Cowboys. What was your first reaction?
Rodney, we'll probably revise the call-in show
to
maybe
be a part of something
beginning
that
of
they're
this coming
building here?
season.
Yeah, you know, when I got the call, you know, really, you know, having my emotions, you know, they was everywhere, you know, surreal at the same time, just understanding the connections that I have here, you know, and the coaching staff, you know, just made it feel like my second home, especially, you know, my family being here.
What up, Newhouse fam?
You know, just a great experience.
You talk about the connections, of course, reuniting with BT Jordan, one of the premier pass rush specialists here. Also, Coach CP, who is now the defensive coordinator, who was on the staff in Green Bay. But I know your closest friend, Kenny Clark, who you created havoc up front in the trenches in Green Bay. Just how much are you looking forward to playing alongside him as well?
Yeah, this just this whole you know, experience, just everything, you know, the Cowboys organization is putting together. I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to be, you know, to start up some change, you know, in the right way. And you know, the guys that you named, especially being able to come back, you know, play with a guy that I know, and just his work ethic and what and what the game of football means to KC, it means the same to me. So I just can't wait to go to work and show the Cowboys Nation what I'm all about.
You had some conversations already with head coach Brian Schottenheimer and, of course, with defensive coordinator Christian Parker. What was the vision that they kind of laid out for you?
Yeah, you know, just come in, be me, you know, let the expectations be what they are, but just come in and, you know, be the guy that they want to hear.
And something that, you know, CP is kind of implementing here is that multiple defense. Of course, it's going to be a 3-4 base, but they're going to show some
4-2
looks, 5-2 looks, things like that. How much are you looking forward to? Of course, you have some experience in that 3-4 scheme. How much are you looking forward to that translating, that versatility?
Yeah, I'm excited, you know, being able to have multiple fronts and being able to be a part of those multiple fronts and being an impact. But something I'm comfortable in, and like I said, I just can't wait to get to work.
Are you a foodie at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Have you heard about some barbecue spots lately here in Dallas?
I heard about Hutchins. You know, I'm starting to get into barbecue.
Okay, well, you and your girlfriend, make sure to go to Hutchins. It's a really good spot, but also welcome to the Dallas Cowboys. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, man. You know, I've said this before, Cowboys Nation. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. If you can't draft them, trade for them. Cowboys have missed quite a bit on defense. So I say if you can't draft them, trade for them. This guy's going to be very good for the Cowboys. Jeremy Betts in the house. What's going on? Poobie D. Poobie D said, Brandon Aubrey. He said, Brandon Aubrey said, my new name is 877 Cash now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know what you mean. He said, hey, 877 cash now. Yes, sir. Shoot, baby, Brandon Aubrey said, pay me my money. But we going to see how this going to turn out. I think Brandon going to get paid. Might not be what Brandon Aubrey won't. All right. Make sure I show you this tonight. Let's keep Matty Dubs has done some videos. Shout out to Matty Dubs. Matty Dubs has done some videos. He does videos on all these different players that get drafted and traded and picked up in free agency. Well, he had a few things to say about these players that the Cowboys have picked up also. We're going to we'll check out even Otto Ogbe, what is it, Ogbiana or something like that? All right, give me a second. Okay, let's check this out. This is Matty Dubs.
Dallas Cowboys just
talking about Rashan Gary. Let's check him out. Yeah, we got film, y'all. We got film. I can't figure out how to get around all 22 because every time I do all 22, they copyright strike me.
Added a brand new edge rusher here in Rashan Gary, who could potentially change everything for the defense going into next season. They really struggled at creating consistent pressure on quarterbacks, and I think now that can change a ton. Take a look at this play here by Rashan Gary as the offensive line is going to be in a scat or slide protection off to the left with man-to-man to the right. Now, you're going to see the right tackle gets off to a late start, and on top of that, the running back Saquon Barkley picks up on the A-gap and doesn't chip off the edge, which is, listen, if you have Rashan Gary over here, why are we not chipping or sliding the center to his side of the field? I will never understand why. Take a look at how late the right tackle gets off, and boom, Rashan Gary explodes off the edge and sacks Jalen Hurts. Bet you guys are going to absolutely love that, right? But I wanted to break down exactly what he is going to add to this team going into next season, and trust me guys, you are going to love this dude. So we're probably gonna have like a 4 or 5 minute video. Before we really dive into it, I want you guys to leave a letter grade down below. I'm gonna give this an A+. I'm gonna give it an A+. You don't lose this trade. Dallas Cowboys won this trade all day, every day. He was gonna get cut. He's a good player, and I'll show you why. Also,
a lot of people were complaining about the Cowboys giving up a 4th round draft pick, but I actually thought it was a great move because you don't want a guy like this getting out in free agency, because if he does, you're gonna have to outbid. You're gonna have to bid for him, and we already know the Cowboys ain't gonna outbid nobody hardly. Cowboys do their best work in trades. That's where they do their best work, and not to mention they don't even like 4th round draft picks. I mean, they give them away. They give them away all the time. I mean, every time they get one, they give them away. So, but I think this one may turn out for us because Mingo ain't turned out for us. But yeah, Gary, I like him, man.
Hit the like button, Cowboys fans. Let's see if we can get over 400 likes. And with that being said, let's dive into the film. He is primarily a stand-up edge, right? Your 5, your 7-eye, your 9 technique. But he is really dynamic when it comes to the ability to get to the quarterback. He can utilize his speed off the edge. He can utilize a bend, right? But he can also be a power type of guy off the edge as well. So he's to the right side of your screen. He's going to get a one-on-one matchup because we're going to make sure that guard is kind of covered up here. Boom. Great job. But now look at this. I think that might even be Kenny Clark, by the way, another Dallas Cowboy. But he's going to reach the point of attack and watch him just power through this left tackle. 1, 2, 3, maybe like 4 to 5 yards into the front side of Caleb Williams and secures another sack here. Again, we've seen him already.
Let me ask a couple of questions while we're watching the video. I think you make a couple of good points here. Mike T said the guy, I don't know his name, with Chris Candy on the show, he said the Cowboys got robbed. They rushed, were going to cut Gary, and Dallas gave a 4th round pick. But no, I just don't think you want him on the open market. I don't think you want him on the open market. I think he's gone. If Gary hit the open market, the Cowboys don't get him. That's my thoughts. They don't get him. They don't get him. And Headhunter, unfortunately, you know how this go, Headhunter. Unfortunately, when you're the one calling about somebody, you don't get to say a 5th or a 6th. You basically get to take what they gon' you basically get to you're gonna take what they tell you. And so they said, I'm sure they said a 4th, and the Cowboys said we oblige because it ain't like we ever draft in the 4th round anyway. Cowboys always giving away 4th round draft picks.
already just beat a tackle in terms of his speed and the tackle just being a late jump, right? But then right here, head down, and I'm driving you back. Again, this dude could be deadly. This totally different game, but same outcome in terms of gets to the quarterback. Now, this time he's lined up in a 9 technique on the outside shoulder of the tight end. They want to give him as much space as possible off the edge because that's just how good he is. He can utilize that speed to just demoralize that poor left tackle. So on this play, you get that motion by Rome Odunze. Doesn't change his place on the field. And take a look at this. If you're not a quick tackle, you are just not going to be able to get there in time. He swats down the outside arm, right? Boom, swats it down, bends off the edge, and look at the positioning here. Goes right through, gets another sack on Caleb Williams. This is a totally different game, by the way. But again, absolute monster when it comes to getting to the quarterback. But what stands out to me, guys, you'll see here, didn't have the greatest year on PFF when it came to pass rush grade, but what has been, he also had 8 sacks. Okay, that's a pretty damn good season. He also has been very consistent when it comes to stopping the run. The one reason the Dallas Cowboys were like, I don't know if we can pay Micah Parsons, was because he was one of the worst run defending edges in football. But Rashan Gary is a little bit different. Not only can he get to the quarterback, but he can also stop the run. Was the 21st best edge when it came to stopping the run. And it's also consistent. Also consistent the year before, 13th in the NFL when it came to stopping the run. Right? 2023, 18th in the NFL in stopping the run. Right? I mean, it goes down. Or not goes down. But
what up, Logan?
You continue to see he is adding versatility in a dynamic that the Dallas Cowboys just needed to have. Here, look at the Giants come out with jumbo personnel. You got like 12 personnel, but an extra lineman on the field here. And ultimately, look at Rashan Gary, who's playing to the inside shoulder of the tight end. And that 7-eye, he's going to avoid both tight ends here and just get right through into the backfield for a tackle for a loss. They end up barely getting back to the line of scrimmage again. Rashan Gary is a really good player. I believe they gave a 4th-round pick for whatever reason in my brain. I went back to the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade, which was just a 7th to the Jets, I want to say. So when I first made this video, like at the very beginning, I said for barely anything. It was actually a 4th-round pick. I was thinking it was a 7th. But still, that's really good value for a 28-year-old edge rusher, and they do think they can make a big playoff push. I love this trade. I'm giving it an A+, even with the 4th-round pick. I think this was huge. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree on this about Rashan Gary. I mean, I just think this was an absolutely great pickup. Christian Legal, let me piggyback on something. Let me put a little seasoning on what you're cooking there. Christian Legal, let me tell you where I am on this. When you talk about he could be the game changer we need, I'm going to put him in the same category as I'm putting Oso Digizua. When you think about Rashan Gary, when Micah Parsons was on the field, he had 7.5 sacks. When Michael left the field, he didn't get no more sacks. When you put the right players around him, and when you think about Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams, I think he is going to make some game-changing plays. I think he's going to make some game-changing plays. Absolutely, I think he's going to make some game-changing plays. Yeah, I think he's going to make some game-changing plays for the Dallas Cowboys. There is no doubt in my mind, about this kid. He is going to make some game-changing plays. There is no doubt about it. All right, sorry, I'm looking at myself real quick. Yeah, he's going to make some game-changing plays, Christian Legal. I think he was a great pick for the Cowboys. Larry said, "Jim, I'm sure I'm going to get booed a lot for this, but is it my mistake or did Brandon miss quite a few kicks at the end of the year? In the beginning, we thought he was almost superhuman." No, you're not going to get booed because he did. Yeah, he missed some kicks. I think what was it? 6 out of 10? Something in there? Yeah, he missed some kicks down the end, which took him from being that top kicker which kind of took, and he's still a top kicker. There's no doubt there's no doubt in anybody's mind about him. Yeah, there's no doubt in anybody's mind about him. He's a really good player. Another really good player the Cowboys have picked up. Hey, let's move on. It's none other than Jalen Thompson.
Yes! Here we go!
Jalen Thompson. I'm just telling you, maybe it's because we've been so bad. Wait, hold on a second. Man said, Jerry, I'll expose your dark-skinned son if you don't run me my money. I know his name is Juanyeh Walker Black. Don't play with me. Man, boy, you crazy. All is well. Aubrey going to hold out, man. Man. Yeah, Michael Smooth, tell me what you think about that. Gary is one of these guys, too. Gary plays really well with great players. He plays really well. And I think he's going to play extremely well with Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams. I think he's going to play extremely well. Absolutely, he's going to play well. I think he's going to make some plays for us. I do. I think he's going to make some plays. Big Amish, he said, Gary playing hybrid. Yeah, I think he's going to make some big players. Some big plays. All right, Jalen Thompson. This is my favorite player the Cowboys picked up. Jalen Thompson can play, man. This dude was just with a bad team. Jalen Thompson can absolutely play. Let's pull him up. Listen to his conversation on DallasCowboys.com. Yeah, Jalen Thompson is a player, as well as Kobe Bryant. Kobe Durant, not Kobe Bryant. But the Dallas Cowboys secondary. I am so excited about the Cowboys secondary because, man, our safety play has been atrocious. It's been atrocious. It's no other way to describe it. It's been atrocious. And for the Cowboys to finally go out here and do something about it, I mean, just on paper, they are way better. Absolutely better. Let's check out Jalen Thompson in his interview.
Up their safety room, adding Jalen Thompson, former safety for the Arizona Cardinals. Welcome to the Dallas Cowboys. How you feeling? What's this last 36 hours been like for you?
It's been amazing. Blessed. Just an amazing opportunity to play for America's team. So this is once in a lifetime type of opportunity. I'm ready to get it going.
To get it going, what are some of the things that the Cowboys fans can expect? What type of safety can they expect to see out of you?
Physical safety, a safety that can do pretty much everything. I don't consider myself just a safety, a DB in general. Nickel, corner, free safety, strong safety, wherever they need me at. That's where I'm playing.
And you're all-pro safety, stepping into a room with a guy like Malik Hooker, a veteran presence.
He from Arizona, Michael
What's
Smooth.
it going to be like for you guys complementing each other? How much are you looking forward to that?
Looking forward to it. You know what I mean? When you're playing with a guy like that, a guy that does pretty much everything the right way, approaches the game the right way, and is just a leader in the room, it's exciting. I'm excited to play with that guy.
Have you had conversations with Christian Parker at all?
Oh, yes. I've had some conversations with CP a little bit. Great coach. Everything is pretty much familiar to me in terms of scheme and in terms of how he coaches. So I'm ready to get it going. I also got my coach Schmitty came from the Cardinals as well. So ready to get it going with him as well, man.
You're still pretty young, obviously, in this league. What are you looking forward to proving here as you're starting this new chapter in Dallas?
Just a player that can bring some wins to the team and can do just be versatile, show the versatility, and can help the team out in many different ways.
Spoken like you're already ready to be a Dallas Cowboy. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Some people are saying that Jalen Thompson may actually be or could play that nickelback position for the Cowboys. Some people are saying that he could play that position for the Cowboys. Let's run back over here real quick to Matty Dubs. Matty Dubs got some video on Jalen Thompson also. And I'm telling you, I think Jalen Thompson may be and maybe I'm just saying this because we've just been so atrocious at safety. Maybe because we've been so atrocious at safety. I mean, Property Wiz Inc. again, been atrocious since Darren Woodson retired. Man, we just have not been able to fill that position. But now that we got Jalen Thompson, he's a
Dallas
playmaker.
Cowboys just made another interesting addition, not only earlier making a big-time pickup in Rashan Gary, at least in my opinion. Now they come over and add a former Arizona Cardinal DB in Jalen Thompson, a safety on the younger side, and really good in a multitude of different ways. Can play in the box, can play a little bit in the nickel, can play deep safety, really good tackler, and good coverage guy. So right here, he's going to get a one-on-one opportunity with the tight end up the seam. He's going to allow leverage, knowing he's got safety depth behind him. So essentially, he just takes the inside, right? So they try to high point this thing. Look at Jalen Thompson, meet him up at the catch point, break this thing loose before he's able to come down with it. And then Budda Baker comes from underneath and makes a big time play as well, right? So Jalen Thompson is a guy that I am high on, right? 27 years old, didn't force any interceptions this season, but did have 5 PBUs, including that one right there. Had 72 solo tackles along with 16 assisted tackles. Had a couple of run stuff. So again, versatility is something that stands out to me when looking at what Jalen Thompson can bring to this team. You have Malik Hooker, and now you have Jalen Thompson out here. I really like the versatility. So we're going to break down some of the film so I can show you exactly what he adds to the team. Before we dive in though, do me a big time favor, hit the like button if you like this signing. If not, comment down below why, leave a letter grade. I'm going to give this a B+. I'm going to give it a B+ for now. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button and let's dive into some film. Here we go. Once again, playing in that nickel role where he's one-on-one with the wide receiver, this time Parker Walker.
See, some people are saying that Hooker it's going to be Hooker and who's the other safety? They're saying it's going to be Hooker and PJ Locke playing safety, and they're saying that he may actually play in that nickelback position that Christian Parker is talking about. Y'all tell me what you think.
Washington, he's going to be running this like corner route to the back of the end zone. Believe you got to stop here, just trying to isolate one-on-one versus the safety and Jalen Thompson, and honestly holds his own here. Gets beat on the inside leverage, but stays where he needs to be for the most part. Wish he got his head around, but doesn't engage contact, okay? He just gets into the catch radius and puts his arm straight up. Doesn't make too much contact. That's a really good play, not forcing or allowing, I guess you could say, the refs to call a penalty here. Goes off the back of his head. Love how he doesn't engage. Just stays in front. Beautiful job. No penalty there. Great job by Jalen Thompson. Once again in coverage versus a good wide receiver. Here we go. Another big time play, this time in run defense. Josh Jacobs and the Packers. You're going to see him as your single high safety. But as they motion a little bit, he's going to come down. And look at this. Does a really good job containing the outside, getting as far out as he possibly needs to be, and then going over and making a play in the backfield. They end up losing a yard on that one. So again, when you look at Jalen Thompson, you're looking at a guy that isn't the greatest, okay? He's not going to come in here and be a superstar. He's probably not going to give you a 3, 4, 5 interception season, but he's going to give you some really good snaps.
I think he might.
Solid in coverage, one of the best cover safeties in the league, okay? And I know you're like, oh, 28th is not one of the best. Well, when you look at strong safety and free safety, there's a lot of starters, 64 starters, so being 28th, I'll take that all day, every day. Now, run defense grade could be a little bit better, like him more in coverage, to be honest. And then you go back a year, he was 25th in run defense, right? 36. So you know you're getting a cover guy, and you know you're getting someone who can help stop the run at least a little bit. Consistently been a good cover nickel, DB, whatever you really want to call him. Now, in Dallas, where is he specifically going to play? I'm not too sure. I know they love their boundaries and their field side corners with Deron Bland and Siobhan Revel. You got Reddy Stewart, who kind of made a name for himself this past season. You got Kalen Carson as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to just have him be a safety, but I wouldn't be surprised if they play him at the nickel as well. So let me know what you guys think. Hit the like.
I've been hearing he's going to be that nickel that they're looking for.
Like button, subscribe, join the family, turn on post notifications. We're going to do a full breakdown here soon of all of their signings. Only been 2 so far with Gary and and our guy here, Jalen Thompson. So as they start to sign more, we'll have a full video for you guys, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.
Yeah, I'm with you, great. I'm with y'all. I'm telling you, I think he's going to be great. Hold on a second. I'm trying to do two things at once here. Sorry. But yeah, I think he's going to be absolutely great. Yeah, I think he's going to be absolutely great. Also, too, I didn't put him on here, but I'm going to tell you another player that, some people are saying that he's going to be an extra or, he's for depth. Rumor has it is,
ladies and gentlemen,
rumor has it is that PJ Locke may absolutely be a starter for the Cowboys.
Is Patrick No C Walker. I am standing here with the newest Cowboys safety, PJ Locke. And PJ, we're going to get right into it. Native of Beaumont, South Texas. You went to the University of Texas. How does it feel to be home?
Man, it's such a surreal moment, full circle moment. Like I said, my wife is from Fort Worth. My whole family grew up Cowboys fans, and to be right here, able to play for the home team, man, it's such a blessing. It's a miracle.
What was the first reaction you had when you got the phone call and the Cowboys were interested in bringing you to Dallas?
Man, to be honest, it still doesn't feel real right now. Walking the halls make it feel a little bit more real, but it still just feels like a dream come true type of thing. And like I said, I'm just super excited. I know what this team can do. We just continue to add pieces, and I think we have the capabilities to do some big things this year.
You're no stranger to adversity, getting it out of the mud, so to speak. When you're coming from the Denver Broncos defense, you're coming to a Cowboys defense that struggled mightily last year. Christian Parker is here. Obviously, you have familiarity with Christian Parker. Just talk about how ready you are to hit the ground running with Christian, some of these other pieces like Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark, to help rebuild and revamp this defense in Dallas.
Well, you hit it on the nail, man. I went undrafted 2019, and I'm going into my 8th year now. So, that speaks for itself right there. So any type of situation with my back against the wall, I'm able to provide some type of expertise to that because, I've been grinding, I've been scratching and clawing my whole career, and, I want to be great. And you got to have pieces to do that. And having Christian Parker here, I'm familiar with the scheme that he's going to run, and I'm happy to help the young guys get it together and, try to be a leader on the defense. He actually, when he was my coach with the Broncos, we spent a lot of time together, training camp mornings, waking up early in the morning, and
what you think, Christian Legal?
Stuff like that, and just helping me get up to par with the IQ of the game, and feel like I've grown so much. And
I see him. He come in his boots and jeans and everything. I see him.
Those 3 years, what was in between the lines at that point, and kind of getting back on track. So it'll be super exciting.
And speaking of your growth, a large part of your growth going from being an undrafted guy to earning yourself through special teams and up to being a starter, your versatility has been one of those things. Other than your versatility, or including your versatility, what are some of the biggest things you're looking to bring to this Dallas Cowboys defense?
Being in the same scheme for 8 years, I think me being able to diagnose offense and finding the holes within the scheme of the defense when he makes a call, and also, man, just playoff experience. That's one, and just my whole career, scratching and clawing, and back against the wall, fighting through just hardships, and I'm not scared of any challenges.
Final question. Now here in Dallas, as a defensive back, you got to love having Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark and those guys up front. DeMarvion Overshown playing in the middle. What can this Cowboys defense be with those types of pieces, including yourself and Christian Parker, making it all happen as the coordinator?
One thing is, guys probably don't know, but I played with Overshown in college. So he can go, and he was playing safety at the time. So
what up, YouTube
but
junkie?
Yeah, man, I think when you have a good team, it starts with having the big guys ready, and we have a good O-line. All we need is a good D-line, and we got that. So we got the hardest part done. Now it's just getting the scheme together, getting everybody on the same page with that, and DBs.
YouTube junkie, I got a strange feeling. That PJ Locke is going to do a lot of playing in this defense. You don't pay a backup player $5.5 million. They're paying him $5.5 million. He gonna play.
Making plays in the back end.
Yeah, he gonna play.
Also starts with communication, and CP is the right coach for that because he's very, very detailed in that sense. And you gain confidence when you understand the details of the game and details of what he wants to provide. So I think we'll be fine, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Texas kid comes home. This is newest Dallas Cowboys,
What up,
Cowboys
Sub-Zero?
safety, PJ Locke, in the building.
Yeah, he gonna play. And it's not just because of the money. Man, he's going to play. Let's see if we can pull up. I think I got some video on PJ. Hold on. I want to make sure here. Yeah, I think I got some.
Ladies and gentlemen.
PJ Locke. Let's see. I think I got something on him. Let's see. Yeah, PJ Locke, man, I'm telling you, if you listen to the Denver Broncos talk about him, I mean, I don't know what's going on with the Denver Broncos this year. I mean, they hadn't even signed a free agent. If I'm not mistaken, they hadn't even signed a free agent. Yeah, I think
Cowboys just made an interesting.
Yeah, I think PJ Locke is going to play for the Cowboys. Let's check him out.
Signing, acquiring former Denver Broncos safety PJ Locke. He is now on his way to Dallas right now as we speak. Well, actually Wednesday when it becomes official, but he'll be a Dallas Cowboy. Now, very interesting signing. I want to break down some of the film. They already added Jalen Thompson, who I think will be their full-time safety, full-time starting safety alongside Malik Hooker going into next season. But they obviously needed more depth with Donovan Wilson and Juanyeh Thomas.
Bring that
also
don't happen,
being
Marvel Jesus.
projected to potentially leave. I think Juanyeh Thomas will stay.
Appreciate you,
but
Christian
PJ
Legal.
Locke definitely adds some much-needed depth and a veteran guy at the safety position as a backup. I think that is actually some really big-time news here. This is a guy that is really good in the box as a tackler. Not much of a cover guy. So, I mean, he can, but he's not going to be outstanding in coverage, okay? So, you guys have to limit your expectations. If you want him to be in the box as a blitzer, I think he can rotate in and be really productive in those certain situations. Like here, they line up in a double mug look. Now, they send one of their linebackers out into coverage, and they overload the left side of the offensive line. And because they were prepared for the inside A-gap to get overloaded, the running back goes over, protects the A-gap, nobody's there, PJ gets a free lane off the edge, and boom, quick little sack, right? So I am going to break down PJ Locke and what he can give you this season. Now, 2025 only played 100 snaps. I believe he got injured at some point in time and missed the majority of the year, I think, right? 2024, again, played 1,000 snaps, wasn't amazing. Again, if you look at these grades, I don't take these like legitly. You can look at them with a grain of salt. That's kind of what I do. He ranks 75th out of 97 in safety. So again, you're not adding this guy to be a full-time starter. At least you'd hope so, right? And then 2023, he was really damn good. Had 3 pressures, had an interception, had 30 total tackles, right, playing about 538 snaps, was really good.
I think what they're hoping with him is I think they're hoping that he works his way into getting on that field and probably being in front of Hooker, all depending upon what they do in the draft. What up, Jigga Man?
A short tackler for the most part. I actually like PJ Locke a decent amount again, and you got to look at it for what it's worth. He's not going to be your day one starter. If they brought him in to be their full-time
we're going to get us
safety,
one, Jigga.
I would probably sit here like, I don't love it. But as a backup, I can see the vision. Obviously, because he didn't play last season, we have to look at some of his 2024 highlights. And another thing I'll say about PJ Locke is if you're playing a quarterback that likes to get outside the pocket, for example, Justin Fields and or more specifically with the Dallas Cowboys, Jalen Hurts or Jaden Daniels, he's a good guy to have there as well because he's got good closeout speed. Here's a little read option, little keeper here for Justin Fields. Look at PJ Locke get right by this big tight end wide receiver and go make a play on the quarterback. Again, great job. These are the things that are very important. And you get in these situations versus Jalen Hurts where they've got a Saquon, they've got Hurts, right? Where you got Jaden Daniels and Corey Krosky-Merritt, these little keepers. We got to be able to stop these things. And PJ Locke is pretty good at it. So another reason why I like him within this Dallas Cowboys defense so far. They've added Rashan Gary, who I personally really like because he helps stop the run. Dude, suddenly this defensive line is pretty ferocious. I'm not going to lie to you. Rashan Gary, Dominic Ezraku, Quinn Williams, Kenny Clark, Osa Odigizua. Guys, that is a dominant 5.
Obviously, he made this before Osa Odigizua was gone. But again, P.J. Locke, I think he's going to be pretty good for the Cowboys. Clifford, we'll look at it in just a moment. Man, I got a strange feeling. Excuse me. I got a strange feeling the Cowboys are going to trade number 12 and not just 12. Unless somebody is there that the Cowboys just say, we got to get this guy, I think the Cowboys are going to trade back number 12. I think they're going to trade back number 12, and I think they're going to trade back number 20. Unless somebody is sitting there that they absolutely can't live without. And I'm more about Sonny Styles myself because I think the Cowboys need that kind of linebacker. I'm more about Sonny Styles at number 12. All right, let's go to cobie Durant. Let's check out a few things on Cobie Durant before we get out of here tonight. All right, Cobie Durant. Very excited about this player. Pleasantly surprised when I was.
Well, the Cowboys have bolstered.
I actually think I was up last night when this came down. I don't think I was asleep. But when the Cowboys got Cobie Durant, I was like, wow, this guy is a playmaker in the making. And I'm surprised that he got to the Cowboys. I really am.
To add another dog to that cornerback room, and they did so with Cobie Durant on a 1-year deal worth up to $5.5 million. But Cobie, I mean, what does it feel like being now in Dallas?
It's a blessing, just getting a chance to come to Dallas and add to the secondary.
What up, Peacemaker?
A room full of playmakers and just bring what I know and been in this league for 4 years to add on with Durant, Bland, and everybody else in that room. Just to come in and, make plays.
What have you had conversations with Christian Parker just yet?
Yeah. I talked with CP, DA, and Smitty earlier. And, great guys, great coaches. I'm ready to, attack this game and, allow them to help me improve and me to, push them to push me.
What excites you about joining what CP is trying to do with this defense in Dallas?
Just create takeaways and get the ball back to Dak and let Dak do what he do.
What
I'm
up?
excited for it. Like I said, got great guys in that secondary, and I'm just here to add on.
Cobie Durant know who foe is. He know who foe is. Get Dak the ball back and let him do what he do.
See on tape, obviously a physical tackler. Talk about what this Dallas defense is getting from you.
They getting a guy that the media says that's too small, but it ain't all about the size.
Yeah, he went hard in the playoff game.
And the dog is the size and the heart of the dog. So, the land shark coming to make plays and add on to this defense.
You're adding to a room that includes Durant Bland, who led the league in pick sixes a couple of years ago.
Playoffs,
corner, and Savon Rebel as well. I mean, how much are you looking forward to joining that group of guys?
I'm excited. Great group of guys. Great instincts.
Baz, you ain't lying, boy.
For the game, and
got that
we just gonna feed
energy
off each other, and get the ball back to that. That's the main thing.
Physicality, that's a big part of your game.
Boy said get it back to foul.
I take a lot of pride into it because I'm on the smaller spectrum of things, and when I go out there, I don't think about it as much. I just be myself, be the land shark, and just go make plays.
You've had a chance to see what this Cowboys defense looks like on the opposite side when you played, obviously, against the Cowboys in years past. What kind of stood out to you when you look back at that type of film?
Just guys on film hunting. Everybody playing 11-1.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and welcome to the Cowboys.
Yeah, welcome to the Cowboys. Cobie Durant. Cowboys got him another playmaker, man. Yeah. Yeah, he's a guy that can make plays. I think if you get a pass rush, and this is what the Cowboys got to really get this thing together. If they get a pass rush, Cobie Durant, Jalen Thompson, they're going to make plays. Rashan Gary, they're going to make plays. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people are harping. I understand what they're doing. This is why a lot of people are harping so bad on trying to get a Maxx Crosby type of player, because of that pass rush. And because so that he can open it up for these other players. I know where people are on this. I get it. Now let's see if we got something here on Cobie Durant. Let's check him out.
On day, 5 of free agency, and Cobie Durant. Dallas Cowboys have just made a really solid signing here on day, 5 of free agency, and Cobie Durant. This is a corner from the Los Angeles Rams. He's been in the league for about 4 years now, 28 years old, only 5'11", but is an absolute dog. Right? I mean, take a look at this. So they're going to be in this cover 2 invert where essentially he's going to be responsible for this half of the field. You got a guy over here. Everyone else is kind of in like this shell of a defense. So you got 2 flats, 2 curls, and then a mid read as well. So take a look at this. As this develops, you kind of see where the coverages are. Now, route concept wise, Jaden Higgins, I believe, is going to be running this corner route to the sideline. Higgins is going to get turned around. He's going to get beat, right? But take a look at what he ends up doing here, right? Gets turned around, gets to where he needs to be, rips the ball out of the man's hands, and comes away with the interception, okay? Absolute dog. When you look at his PFF profile, again, take everything with a grain of salt with PFF. I enjoy what they do, but again, you got to take it with a grain of salt. This past season was graded out as a top 39 corner in football. Now, in my opinion, that's not a bad grade at all, because when you think about it, how many corners are on the field at all times?
Yes.
There's a lot. I mean, there's 3, right, in nickel. And this is a guy that ranks within the top 39 of 114 DBs, right? 38th in coverage. Not bad at all. If you go back to 2024.
You're talking about anywhere from what, 64 to 96? So if you're talking about 3 corners on the field, that's 96. I mean, no matter how you slice it, even if it's 2 corners on the field, that's pretty good, man.
For, maybe not as good of a year, but still pretty solid. Was, I guess, the best pass rushing corner in football. But this past season, 3 interceptions. And when you look at the Dallas Cowboys and their defense right now, I think they needed to add more guys to this secondary that they could trust. You have Durant Bland. You have Siobhan Revel, who they're still hoping could be an absolute dog. And I think they could, or he could be. Then you got Reddy Stewart and Zion Childress, who I do like in your nickel spot. But Cobie Durant could be an instant game changer, an instant starter for this defense.
Yep.
I really do believe that. Now, you guys let me know in the comments how you feel about it. We're going to break down a little bit of film, maybe one more play before we dive into it. Before we do so, hit the like button. I'm going to give this signing a B+. I like it. If he's going to be their nickel, honestly, I'm in. I'm in for it. So let me know what you guys think.
He may be that Jordan Lewis.
Another really good play. Now, the Rams did play him a lot at boundary, or I guess you could say field side corner, right here, lined up versus JSN, Jack Smith-Njigba. Right, and he's going to be running this kind of speed out, maybe like 5 to 7 yards back to the football, to the sideline, and essentially we're playing with outside leverage here with Cobie Durant. Reads it like a book. Eyes stay on the quarterback the entire way, which allows him to break on this football a lot sooner. And then look at him, jump it.
Ooh,
again, beautiful job. This guy can be really good. Now, what I really do like about him is his versatility. He can play field side, he can play boundary side, he can play nickel. He can really do like about him, which allows him to break on this football a lot sooner. And
that's
look at him,
nice.
jump it. Again, beautiful job. This guy can be really good.
Yeah, that's
now,
nice right there, man.
What I really do like about him is his versatility. He can play field side, he can play boundary side, he can play nickel. He can play literally anything. The reason I was so kind of adamant on him playing nickel for them, because they already have Durant Bland and Siobhan Revel as their outside. I mean, I guess they could change it up. They could. I actually do like Zion Childress, and Reddy Stewart played decently well last year. But yeah, I think your DBs now, Durant Bland, Siobhan Revel, and then Cobie Durant, I think that's fine. I think that's honestly a pretty damn good DB room. With these backups.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
mind it. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Yeah. Nice. Yep. Yeah, I think he's going to be great, man. I think he's going to be good for the Cowboys. I think he's going to fit the system. And so that kind of brings us to, as we get ready to close here, how much better are the Cowboys? Well, I'll tell you how much better I believe the Cowboys are. And I think what we have to do is we have to take this by I think we have to take this by position at this point. I think we have to kind of take it by position. But if you were to ask me if the Cowboys are better, I would say yes, the Cowboys are better. By position, I think they're better. And what I mean by that is defensively, the Cowboys have gotten way better at defensive back. Way better. Corner and safety. The Cowboys have gotten way better. And not only have they gotten way better, what I'm impressed with is that they're not done with free agency. So we're just talking about today. They're not done with free agency, and they still have the draft. So they're not done yet. So if the Cowboys can keep this same energy, if they can keep this same energy, the Cowboys are going to be absolutely great. They're going to be absolutely great. Let me see, depth chart. All right, hold on a second. Yeah, the Cowboys are going to be great when you look at them by position defensively. The Cowboys are going to be great. So I'm very happy with a lot of the things. Okay, here it is. So when you take this by position, the Cowboys are better in the defensive backfield. They are better in the defensive backfield. Again, when you look at cornerback position, Deron Bland, Jalen Thompson, Malik Hooker, Cobie Durant, Stuart Reddy, Savon Revel Jr., which I believe he's going to be a starter, PJ Locke, and we already had Childress, Marquise, and Kalen, and, of course, Josh Butler. I mean, I don't know why Triquez Bridges is still on. I don't know why. Poopa Dil tell you. I don't know why Triquez Bridges is still on here. Got to get him out of here. But this is one of the things that killed us last year. The back end of the Cowboys defense was absolutely atrocious. So for the Cowboys to do some things in the defensive backfield, it is incredible. Where they need the most work, if you ask me, where they need the most work is the linebacker position. They need a lot of work there. A lot of work. I don't want to go into this season depending upon Shamar James, Maurice Leofau. I'm not saying they shouldn't get some kind of opportunity. Definitely don't want to be depending on Sam Williams at outside linebacker. The Cowboys got a lot of work to do in the linebacker situation. Then when you look at the defensive tackle situation, defensive end situation, Cowboys need some work there too. So they still got some work to do. But they got killed on the back end last year. So I think they're better just because of their back end improvement. And, of course, Rashan Gary, I think he makes them better too. But they got a long way to go. They got a long way to go. But the thing that I'm happy with is when I think about the Cowboys is that they are going that way. They are going that way. And that's what I'm happy with the Cowboys. So how much better? Well, last year I had to give them an F or a D. So at this point, I'm going to at least give them a C. Well, at least give them a C, Bass. What you think? I'm going to give them a C. And the reason why I'm going to give them a C, I mean, I think right now they could go out and play with that defense, and it would be better than last year. They could play with this defense right here, and it'd be better than last year. So I'm going to give them a C. I'm going to give them a C with the understanding that the Cowboys are going to continue to make moves. With the understanding they're going to continue to make moves. Now, again, kind of what's out there right now, the Cowboys are going to have to wait. They're going to have to wait and see and let players be pre-June 1st or post-June 1st releases. You know, like Snead got released. We got to wait. Cowboys are going to have to wait. We're going to have to be patient. There are going to be more players coming out there, so we're just going to have to wait. But for where they are right now compared to where last year, I'm going to give them a C. with the understanding was like, and what we're going to call this, we're going to call it the progress report. Y'all remember what I told you? It's okay to check the progress of the process. This is why when we were in school, I don't know if they do that now, but when I was in school, you always got a progress report. And you'd always hate to take that progress report home because you know you've been clowning in, you've been clowning in class. You know you've been clowning. That progress report gonna have C's and D's on that joint. You take that progress report home, you get a whooping. And it's amazing how you go back to school and turn them C's and D's into A's and B's. So, with the understanding that the Cowboys are going to continue to be on the lookout, so I'm good with this. Let's kind of look at something else before we get to the cap manipulation. Let's kind of add one more little tidbit in here before we get out of here on the cap manipulation. As we start looking at the mock draft, I got a strange feeling, Cowboys fans. I have a strange feeling. The Cowboys are about to turn these 2 first-round picks into 4 picks. I got a strange feeling. This number 12, I'm not sure Dylan Thieneman is a number 12 draft pick. I'm not sure he's a number 12 draft pick. If anything, if you're the Cowboys, you got to figure out a way if you really want a top flight line. I mean, if you want Sonny Styles, you'd have to figure out how to get him. I just don't think he's a number 12. I don't think he's a number 12. I don't think he's a 12th in the draft linebacker. So if I'm the Cowboys, I got to weigh this out. Can I go backwards? Can I go backwards and get C.J. Allen? I already believe the Cowboys are going to get Jacob Rodriguez. I just don't think they want to get, I don't think they're going to use a number 12 or a number 20 on Jacob Rodriguez. I think they're going to trade back on both of these. I think they're going to stay in the first round. I just think they're going to trade backwards. And I think they're going to get Jacob Rodriguez with the second first round pick in the draft. Because I don't think anybody's going to get Jacob Rodriguez at 12. They're going to trade back at 20, I believe, and get Jacob Rodriguez. When you start thinking about number 12, I just don't think Caleb Downs is going to be there. But Dylan Thieneman, Emmanuel Warren, they're not 12th. They're not 12th overall picks. They're just not. They're not 12th overall picks to me. When I look at the cornerback positions, I mean, Mansoon Delane, they're saying he might not even get to the Cowboys. So maybe if Mansoon Delane is there, the Cowboys will go at 12. But if he's not there, I'm not sure these other cornerbacks are 12th overall cornerbacks. So the Cowboys can wheel and deal here. You're talking about the edge. If David Bailey, Reuben Bain, if they're not there, I'm not sure Keldrick Falk and Akeem, I'm not sure they're 12th overall. I'm not going to get them at 12. I'll go backwards and get me another. I'll get me a second. I'll get me another third. I'll go backwards before I choose Falk, Messidor, Parker at 12. I'm not doing that. Even at defensive line, we're going to see Caleb Banks, Peter Woods. Now, Caleb Banks, again, he's a player that the Cowboys would probably trade back for. Or if they take him at 20, maybe they trade back at 12 and get Jacob Rodriguez or get Rodriguez further back. But as I'm looking at the draft, I've been looking at these positions, and I just don't see where the Cowboys, I just don't see where any of these players are worthy of taking at number 12. Because if you're going to tell me that Orville Reese, Jeremiah Love, I know someone says we don't need a running back. You don't have to need a running back to take Jeremiah Love. Orville Reese, Jeremiah Love, Sonny Styles, Bailey, Reuben Bain, Caleb Downs. Let me see. I didn't see. Don't see say. Okay, they got Caleb. I don't see Sonny. Did I miss Sonny Styles? Or did I say Sonny? Okay, I said Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles, Reuben Bain, Caleb Downs. Mansour Delane. I'm not taking Dylan Thieneman with the number 12 overall first. I'm not taking him with the 12th overall pick. Ain't no way. I like Thieneman. I'm not taking him with the number 12. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Frank Lawrence, he said trades can occur at any time, any point during or before the draft with teams negotiating with rivals until final seconds to trade up and down for a specific player. Frank Lawrence, that's exactly what I'm doing with that 12. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm going to hold on to that 12 until the last. I'm going to hold on to that number 12 until number 11. And if all those players are gone, I'm not taking Dylan Thieneman with the 12th overall pick. I'm not doing it. I can't. No, I'm trading backwards. I'm going to get me a second round pick now. I'm like, hey, man, who wants this number 12 for your number? Who wants this number 12 for your number 16, 17, or 18 plus a number and plus your third or your second? Who wants it? Who wants it for a second? Your position in a second, who wants it? I'm not going back for Thieneman. I'm not doing it. Rambowski said, I highly doubt KC is going defense with their 9th pick. Let's see who they got. They got Caleb Downs and Rambowski. That's one of the main reasons why. I'm going to keep 12 until 11 is done. I'm going to keep 12. I'm going to keep 12 until 11, until I know the pick is in and someone, hey, they took yada, yada, yada. Caleb Downs is still there. Or Mansour Delane is still there. If they're not there, I'm trading backwards. Bottom line. If all those players who are worth that number 12 pick defensively are not there, I'm trading backwards. I'm going to find me a team and I'm going to trade backwards. I absolutely am. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm going to maximize these 2 first-round picks. I'm going to maximize them. Okay, so Durant, you make a great point. He won't make it past 18. So anything, and this is why I said before, Durant, if I'm trading backwards, my goal is I'm not going to trade any further than 3 picks. So I'm going to try to go to 15. If I'm the Cowboys, I would try to see, Tampa Bay, you want 12? Tampa Bay, you want 12? 12 or 16 at the most. Hey, one of y'all want 12? Tampa or the Jets, y'all want 12? I'll give them 12. I'll give them 12. I'll go to 15 or 16, and I'll still get Thieneman. But if Styles, I got to hold on to that pick. I got to hold on until I know. Because people didn't think Michael Parsons nor CeeDee Lamb was going to fall there. So I got to wait and see on Sonny Styles. And if Styles is there, I'm in like Flynn. You better believe I'm in like Flynn. Shoot, YouTube junkie, you too. I seriously hope Styles does not end up in the NFC East, and if not with us. I hope, well, it looks like the Giants are probably going to get him. But I hope he winds up with us. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, Bass, that's too high on Dylan. I'd have to trade back. Okay, Lisa Worley, hold on a second. Did you say they traded Tolbert? Okay, let me go check that out. You said they traded Tolbert. Okay, let me look over here real quick. Thought he was a free agent. Yeah, they didn't trade Tolbert. Actually, I don't think they traded him. He was already a free agent, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we talked about that in the beginning. Lisa. Yeah, I mentioned your name when we were talking about it. Yeah, the Cowboys didn't trade him. He was a free agent. Yeah, he was a free agent. Yeah, they didn't trade him. For what my understanding is, they didn't trade him. He was a free agent. And so the Dolphins picked him up. So again, if I'm the Cowboys, yeah, he didn't get traded. He got picked up. He was a free agent. So again, if I'm the Cowboys, I got to wait and see who's going to be there at 12. And if who I want isn't there, I'm sorry, but I am going backwards. I am going backwards. All right, let's kind of look at a little bit of this. Let's look at a little bit of this cap manipulation the Cowboys did over the other day. This is what the Cowboys were working. They were doing a lot of great things with the cap. Let's kind of look at what they did here with Rashan Gary. Did a great job with Rashan Gary. But let me call your attention to something in this doggone Rashan Gary deal that absolutely blew my mind. Look at this right here. It's 2 years, $32 million, $16 million guaranteed, which I think is fair. Bonus $13.2 million. So basically the Cowboys have fixed this to where 2026, they're going to get a hit for 1.8 plus a $1 million active roster bonus. I think it's somewhere around $5 million. 2027, the Cowboys have him at $15 million hitting the cap. So basically the Cowboys could really, if they wanted to, the Cowboys could cut, if Rashan Gary don't work out, the Cowboys could pretty much cut Rashan Gary. And I don't think there'll be any kind of hardly any dead money, right? But look at this part right here. What in the world is this? They put 6 void years in this deal. What? You put 6 void years in a $32 million, $16 million guaranteed deal? Man, the Cowboys finna be paying Rashan Gary gonna be on Cowboys payroll. He gonna be on the Cowboys payroll for 4 or 5 years, man. Boy, he gonna be on the Cowboys payroll for years. But they got 6 void years on this thing, man. And I'm hoping Rashan Gary works out really well for the Cowboys. I really do, because I think he's gonna be. I think he can really be great for the Cowboys in this 2 to 3 year window that we're looking at. And so that's the Rashan Gary magic the Cowboys worked out. Let me see. Then let's look at the Jalen Thompson contract. This is why I tell you, man, Cowboys have been fibbing about this salary cap. So now we got Jalen Thompson. He's a 3-year, $33 million, $9.7 million bonus. $9.7 million bonus, $1.8 million plus a $1 million, pretty much similar to what they did for Gary. $8.5 million, $1 million active in 2027, and $10 million in 2028. I don't see where the guarantee is on this contract. 33 million, 36 million. Yeah, I don't see where the guaranteed. Okay, so the first 2 years of the contract, if I'm understanding this right. So the first 2 years of the contract is guaranteed. So basically, he got a bonus of 9.7 million, so 2.8 million. So that's somewhere around what, 12, 13-ish. 8.5, basically 9.5. So it's a 23. Looks to be a $23 million guaranteed, $23 million guaranteed deal. And so they could get rid of him after 2027. But they put 4 void years in his deal. These are starting to smell like all-in moves by the Cowboys. So I believe what we're waiting on is who will be that one player that really says this is all in. All absolutely in. But this is what the Cowboys have been doing with these contracts. They also went back and reworked Kenny Clark's contract. And I do think the one contract that we are working on, or we need to see drop, and that'll let us know if the Cowboys are really about to do something, is Quinnen Williams. Cowboys need to redo Quinnen Williams' deal if they haven't already, but I think he's the last one they haven't done. So Kenny Clark, $11 million roster bonus into signing bonus, added 3 void years, cleared $8.8 million of cap space. Yeah. Updated cap hit. He's 12 million in 2026. He's got a 2028 void year, looks like, and then 2027 is 22 million. Yeah, looks like Kenny gonna be here to stay. Look like Kenny may be here to stay. But again, I would have to see what would it look like if they got rid of him after 2026. But I would have to look at the rest of that contract. But definitely, he's here for 2026. We'll see about 2027. But again, it's amazing to me how the Cowboys all of a sudden are able to work the cap better than they ever seem to have done in the past. It's amazing to me. Okay, Gravedigger, thank you. You said he only got 4 void years. Boy, I was about to say 6. Boy, no way. 6 void years. Rombowski said they're all in moves until you don't win. Yep. Players' performance fall off a cliff and forced to cut him. They suffer salary cap hits and dead money on those void years. You know, I think Jerry has been telling people some stuff that they're not quite understanding. I think Jerry's been saying some things that people are not quite understanding, but the issue is, Rombowski, is when you rob Peter to pay Paul, when you go and get those players, when you go and put that money in those void years and kick that money so far down the road, you're actually saying we have to win. Because if you kick the money down the road and you don't win, and you remember, Rombowski, we were talking about trust the process. Well, right now we're giving a progress report on the process. And while the process is looking pretty good on this progress report, the goal, Big Rombowski, the goal, Cowboys Nation, as Rombowski and we all have been talking about, the goal is success. And when you kick all that money down the road and you don't win, that sucks. Bottom line. I mean, right now, you know, you're watching the Eagles. They're going through some of this, you know, where they're not doing a whole lot because, you know, somewhere you gotta pay the piper. Somewhere you gotta pay the piper. And you gotta start letting some of that money fall off. Rombowski said it's the exact opposite of Philly's Roseman strategy. Pay them up front. That's right. Pay them up front so you can get rid of them later on with little no impact on salary cap. Yeah. But also, Rombowski, you know, they've done very little in free agency. Big Amish, Super Bowl or bust. That's it. When you make these moves, they have to hit. They have to hit because if they don't hit, then you're suffering later on down the road. You're suffering later on down the road. Bottom line. You're suffering. So you got to be careful, man. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Man, I appreciate y'all riding with me, man. I had a lot of material. But I was absent yesterday, so I had a lot to catch up on. Yep. I'm feeling real good about the Cowboys right now. I'm feeling real good about the Cowboys. But they got to keep on moving. That's the goal. They got to keep on moving. There are more moves to be made. More moves to be made. As I said before, teams are going to start making players pre and post June 1st cuts. So we're going to make more moves, but we're probably going to settle down a little bit right now. We're going to have to settle down a little bit because they're up, man. I'm telling you. The players left out there right now. Hold on a second. The players left out there right now, man, you don't want to be out there playing around with a lot of them players. So now you got to kind of slow down, take a breath, evaluate what you got. Think about Jonathan Greenard. Think about Josh Sweat. He's asking Arizona for a trade. Think about Josh Sweat. And just kind of sit back. Start trying to think about, okay, what are we going to do with Aubrey? Are we going to extend George Pickens? Because, man, I'm going to tell you right now, it's always a team out there ice skating uphill. It's always somebody ice skating uphill. The Colts went out there and paid Alec Pierce like he's a top 10 wide receiver. Alec Pierce done went out here and broke the bank. And so now the Cowboys, in their dealings with George Pickens, what is George Pickens worth if Alec Pierce got that kind of money on half the production? I'm telling you, boys, somebody always ice skating uphill. So the Cowboys, they got to work out Brandon Aubrey, take the time to work out George Pickens, and then let's start watching the leaves fall off the trees, and then we'll see what we can get. So again, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I'm excited about what the Cowboys are doing. The progress in the process, I'm liking it, but there is more to do. Because if the Cowboys didn't do anything else from this day forward, it wouldn't be good enough. So there is more to do. Linebacker, edge, defensive tackle. The draft is going to help us some, but there's not enough picks in there to really be impactful. So we got to wait and see, but I think it's going to turn out well. Again, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys when we talk facts. Peace.